Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway Show. Believe it or not, it is episode 50 of the show as well. And as you can see, I've got quite a few people joining me tonight. So to the panel, welcome, and for joining on to the 50th. So thanks very much for being here. And to everyone in the chat, as always, thanks for being with us. And for some of us, it's going to be quite interesting. There's only a couple of people that's going to be quite happy about how their results were. Some others at the moment, as you can see, in the middle of us is just some hot chocolate at the moment. He will be with us at the moment. He's just kind of consoling himself, wiping away the tears.
Does he still believe in miracles?
Well, yeah, 54th Street, isn't it? Miracle on 54th Street. I think he's going with that one. But first of all, let's introduce people into the panel anyway. Anthony, how are you, mate? Start off with you first.
I'm not too bad, Tony. You're not too bad. Looking forward to tonight's show. And I'll tell you what a good panel we got here.
Indeed, we've got some new faces, as we see. Well, one old face and one new face.
Don't be like that to Jez.
I was about myself, mate. I'll be grand for a change.
Oh dear.
You know where this is going.
It's going to be one of these shoes tonight, isn't it? It's going to be one of these shoes.
How are you, mate? Good to see you as well.
I'm all good, mate. I've been streaming most of the day, doing like gaming stuff, and just like I've got to the point now. I'm not doing all these watch-alongs. If the game's any good, then I'll change it into a watch-along. Other than that, if it's shit, which most of them are, then I won't bother. Like the Forest one, basically. That was shit.
Yeah, it wasn't good. We'll talk about our game shortly anyway. Jez, how are you?
I'm all good, mate. All good, yeah. Yeah, thank you for inviting me on, as always.
We'll talk about your game as well and introduce a new person to the chat, the panel for the first time. And it's a fellow West Ham supporter as well. And leading Mike's, welcome to the show, son.
Thank you for having me on. Big up to the panel. It's good to be on. Looking forward to the show. It'll be better than yesterday's game, that's for sure.
Moving on swiftly. Yeah, no, we'll talk about that as well. And good to see him returning back onto the show as well. Charlie, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, thank you. Thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to talking about all the good games of the weekend, or the early one yesterday, anyway.
Just one.
Yeah, probably one of the better results of the weekend, I think.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we'll talk about your game first. Fun enough. I mean,
I'm back in a set, mate.
All right, mate. It wasn't exactly the greatest game from Arsenal, was it? But you've got it over the line, and it looks like you found yourself a new striker.
Well, I mean, if you want to buy Sterling for the rest of the season, like, feel free.
Big up, gun down.
Oh God, I think he's one of he goes along the same lines as Pepe.
Wow.
No, he hasn't got it no more, is he? Let's be honest. He's past it. He can't go past no one. Can't run down the wing. I mean, I think we deserved the win, and I think we was a little bit lucky at the same time. But if you want to win the Premiership, you got to get through these games. So we'll take it the 3 points.
Yeah, true. I mean, because don't get me wrong. I mean, Leicester, they did well to hold you back for so long, but as you can tell, they just couldn't get it over the line on that. I mean, Anthony, Jez, what did you make of the game yourself?
Wow. Let's be honest, mate. It's the old story, isn't it? The old story. I totally agree with Charlie. Sterling, mate, what a waste of space. Best thing he can do is go back to Chelsea, go down the old pensioners' hospital, become a Chelsea pensioner because he's fucking rubbish. But
he ain't that
good. I'm being nice. But yeah, come on, man. I mean, we had not one shot on target in the first half. What's that tell you? And then our new saviour, Marino. Great. Well, I mean, good game for him. Good game. Well played. I won't knock it. But man of the match for me was the young boy, Enwary. I thought he was absolutely out there. but it's just papering over the cracks, mate. At the end of the day, you know. But we get all the usual bullshit about, you know, oh, we can still win the Champions League. Yeah, right.
That's true.
The thing is, sorry, Tom, go on, mate.
I'll just say, you know, gun down UK, just saying here, look, Patchwork FC can only last for so long.
Yeah.
Well, City are playing Liverpool next week. If they can beat them, we've got to play them still. You know, if we can nick a result there, then it's all up for grabs again.
Mm.
I mean, Wolves were unlucky today, 2-1, and like they could have nicked a draw again.
Mm.
And I think Wednesday night done them in. They was a bit rattled to draw 2-2 at Everton.
Are you an Arteta inner?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Well, I'll look at it. There's 17 other teams who have to be where we are. 18, sorry.
Say again?
Oh, God.
Who else would you have there?
As manager?
Yeah.
Simeone, Inzaghi.
Simeone was never going to come. He didn't want to come before Arteta was there.
If you pay the money, Charlie, they'll come.
An Arsenal team has not won anything in 5 years.
Hang on,
You're
mate.
mad.
Hang on. We are paying this scrub 15 million a year, second highest manager in world football. Paid. We're paying him that money. You offer that to Simeone, they'll come. This is going to be a good show.
As I say,
Fucking hell.
there's 18 other managers in the Premiership who would love to be where we are.
It's what?
There's 18 other managers in the Premiership would love to be in the position we're in right now.
Really? Yeah, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. Yeah. I can't disagree with you on that one. But you tell me then. I mean, I don't want to make this an Arsenal show. No, right? I don't want to get off on a bad foot here, but we are already. But at the end of the day, mate, let's be right. Let's put it right. Yeah. What has he actually achieved at this club? We're left with a short squad. We haven't got a striker. Yeah, a proper striker, out and out. Guys like to buy left backs, goalkeepers. You tell me what the benefit of having Arteta is.
Well, he got rid of all the shit that was disrupting the club, didn't he?
He bought a load of shit.
Well,
Right.
you're going to have that. You can't buy all these players and every one of them is going to be a superstar. You know, it's like any walk of life, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's his pick. His pick. He picked them.
True.
Anyway, leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
It's gonna be a fiery one. I can see
yeah,
it.
he's
It's gonna be
fiery
a
one, very
one.
fiery. My opinion is roughly the same thing. You know, I watched the game. I thought the first half was flat. It was like a lifeless plimsoll. It was just rubbish. It was nothing there within the first half. Second half was a bit boring. And it needed Sterling to come off to change the game, to bring Mourinho on and to change the game a bit. That I do get. And with Mourinho getting the 2 goals, you know, I mean, obviously big up for him for getting the 2 goals. But for me, he was at the right place at the right time to get those goals. Yeah. So, you know, I can't, you know, I can't say
good
anything.
Positioning, though. Good positioning. Really good positioning.
It was good position. It was good positioning from him. Yeah, you're right, Yeti, from him. The only thing that's winding me up is where I've seen it on different streams and different shows saying, is Marino our new striker? But he's not a bloody striker. He's a defensive midfielder. So that's got up my news over the weekend, you know. And I've put comments in quite a few shows, and but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We scored 2 goals. We won the game, kept the clean sheet, got the 3 points, and then obviously we move on from there. But there was times where I thought for that game, Leicester was going to score. And I mean, and that's
totally,
and that's see from that defensive from Skelly, you know, where he actually pinged the ball out for the corner. Yeah. I thought he was brilliant. He had a good game, Skelly. I don't know why Mikel Arteta subbed him off. I was quite surprised with that, you know. But it's like I said, his substitution, bringing on Marino for Sterling. I can't fault it. But regarding we got a
It was
crap
lucky
team.
again, to be fair.
Yeah, he was lucky. Yeah, we got a crap team next week. They're called West Ham, and but I don't know. I just think that there's something there. Like, I mean, obviously West Ham is on a different wavelength to obviously Leicester City. They're a much better team than them. It's obvious. But let's see if Marino can step up and do this within the next game. I'm not saying he's definitely got to score, but all I'm saying is when Mikel Arteta picks his team, don't put Sterling in it. You just might as well play Marino. Just play exactly that same game. And my man of the match was the same as Jez. No, Warney, I thought he had a brilliant game.
Yeah.
For a youngster.
100%.
For a youngster, I think he's absolutely brilliant. And I'll be
Thought
I would
Rice
be
was a close
amazed.
second, to be honest.
Rice was a close second, yeah. Skelly was up there for me as well. And it won't surprise me later on in the future that these two Arsenal players, these young ones, I think they have been called up for England, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Unless Arteta ruins them like he does the rest.
Well, I hope not yet. I hope not.
It's kind of mad to see how far Sterling has fallen. I know it's been coming for a while since he's left City. Like, it struggled at Chelsea, and then don't really know why Arsenal got him before it seemed like a bit of a last minute opportunity as like Reece Nelson went out on loan. So he's kind of just filling in the numbers. But with someone that as big as Sterling has been over the past few years, and now he's getting like outperformed by someone who's only 17. Like, I think Man United 17 and stuff like that as well. And Mourinho is playing up front. The problem I will say with Mourinho is that as much as like it may plug the hole for a quick sec, like if he does carry on like this for like a little patch, and maybe Arsenal will look at it and be like, okay, maybe we don't need a striker because if it goes wrong with Havertz, we've got another midfielder we can plug it up front, sort of thing. I think now it's just about getting results. Of course, like it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal are like at this part of the season, chasing another team rather than being at the top for a long time and then dropping off. Because we've seen that when they were at the top for a bit the past couple of seasons, they couldn't really like carry on that same form until May. I think then again last year was one game, but for the first half of that season they lost 4. So that's kind of what deterred them away from the title in the first half of the season. But maybe them chasing might do them a lot more good. I personally think Liverpool are still going to win the league, but I think because neither team did really anything in the transfer window, you're kind of seeing who has a more ready-made squad for the title already, rather than who's actually building towards that squad. Because much as Liverpool need players as well, they've still got people like Van Dijk and Salah and Trent that can get them out of trouble. I think with Saka out, and it's a lot to put on Nwaneri to be like, maybe he's the next one to bail us out in terms of an Arsenal perspective. So it's going to be interesting to see how they change. But I don't know whether it's sustainable for the rest of the season because of how many injuries they're picking up. I feel like Arteta rushes people back a bit too much, a lot of workload. That we're playing full competitions all the time, and I feel like even when players do come back, he's going to rush them back unless there's already ready-made players that are playing more in their position already.
That's been our problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like if Saka comes back, for example, like he did this.
One year he's just going to be taken out of the team, and Saka's going to be put in there, and that's what I was saying to Cole the other day. It's like 1 year he's doing well, and he looks like a really good player. But the thing is, when like Saka comes back, he's just going to drop him straight to the bench again, and he's not going to be happy about that because he's the one that's shining out of all of them at the minute. And Sterling, 30-year-old, them 2 offsides was absolutely disgusting for a 30-year-old.
Yeah, true.
He still plays like he's up and coming. I think Raheem Sterling's game has never changed. Like, he never looks like he's developed into anything. Like, he still plays like how he did when he was playing with Suarez and Sturridge all them years ago. And under Pep, like, he fit him into a system where he did well with like De Bruyne and Aguero around him. But when you take those players around him, you're seeing him a lot more like trying to be the main guy, but he can't be the main guy. He has to be the guy who's next to someone who's world class already, as we see with Suarez and Aguero and De Bruyne, etc. Like, I feel like when he's trying to be the main guy, when you're seeing a lot more of him, the spotlight's more on him, and there's some of the big name players around him, he can't carry that responsibility. Like with those offsides, he's had that in his game forever. He's never been able to improve for some reason.
When you've got good players around you, it shows you out.
Yeah.
you know, you can either be as good as them, or where they're so good, it shows you how poor you really are.
Yeah.
Can I, Charlie? Can I ask you a very quick question, mate?
Of course you can, mate.
Right. What is it that you see in Arteta that makes you think he's going to succeed or take Arsenal to the glory days?
Well, the thing is, when we was bottom of the league, I knew then they was going to back him all the way. Otherwise, he would have got the sack. Right, and he got rid of all our trouble. Ozil, Aubameyang, you know, they was disruptive players. He's got rid of them. He's bringing players through from the young boys, and it's all right saying like he brings players back, but he does what he thinks is right. And I think that probably not this year. I can't see us topping Liverpool this year, but you never know. But you know what they say: be careful what you wish for. And it's all right saying,
but what player has Arteta made better?
Huh?
What player has Arteta made better?
Well, Saka, Nweri, Lewis Skelly. He's brought them all
Saka
through.
was already good. He never bothered with 1 year in.
But he's a lot better now, even though he's injured.
He's not progressed any player. I mean, look, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not getting involved in this. Jez, you deal with this shit because I'm foreign.
No, everyone's got an opinion. But because I want to back Arteta, I don't mean that, you know, everyone's got their own opinion. But
yeah, 100%. I think he's a clueless manager, mate, personally.
You just said another year.
Yeah, well, if they sacked him, Jez, and brought someone else in, even Simeone, do you think he'd win the league in the first year?
Probably.
No.
He's level.
He'd do it quicker than Arteta's done it.
He's a proven winner. Proven winner.
Well, we had a proven winner in Emery.
Got us to a European final, yeah, in his first year.
Yeah, and look what happened that night.
Yeah.
Absolutely mullered by Chelsea.
Because the players didn't turn up.
And it wasn't just the players that didn't turn up, Jez. It was because, in all fairness, I'll be honest with you, this is my own opinion as well, mine. I don't think, obviously, we know Unai Emery wasn't backed like Mikel Arteta was. And the other thing as well, you've got to think, when Unai Emery was the manager at Arsenal, he had a hell of a lot of dead wood to shift out of that team, yeah, more so than what Arteta did. So, do you know what I mean? I mean, that final against Chelsea, we lost 4-1. If you remember back, the first 11, I mean, the right back, that was Cole Jenkinson playing right back, mind.
Yep.
You know, then we had the likes of Mustafi in the midfield, in the defence, in that sort. So we had all these sort of players that weren't doing nothing, but Unai Emery was there and he got us to a final. I mean, we finished. What did we finish under Unai Emery? We finished 5th, didn't we, in the league? And
the same players for the final, didn't they?
Yeah, but on that in the semi-final of that Europa League Cup, when we was at the Emirates playing, did you hear all the Arsenal fans chanting? They were chanting, "We got our Arsenal back." I don't know if you can remember the game, but that was what they were chanting. And everybody, all the fans in that, was saying, "Yeah, this is great, this is good." And then for some particular reason, for a while it got stale. But the only reason why it got stale was because he wasn't backed. He couldn't make the signings that he wanted to. And like when a manager comes in, you know, like Unai Emery, in all fairness, by then he won round about 5 or 6 European trophies. So you know, what gets to me,
Europa League on the spot, Europa Cups on the spin.
On the spot, yeah, three times on the bench. Okay, he won the league with PSG because that was where he left and he left there and came to us. But it's easy to win the league with PSG because all the players, they're the team over in France that's got the most money in that league. But in all fairness, when you bring in a manager, it's like when you go to a job interview. If that CV in front of you, if it's not attractive, yeah, you don't get the job. Unai Emery's CV was attractive. That's the reason why he got the job, right? But then when he was sacked, and then I watched it on breaking news on Sky Sports News, yeah, that they were saying, "Oh, we've got our new manager." It was outside of a house, and then you had Edu, another guy walked out, and then suddenly Mikel Arteta walked out, and then that was it. We knew it was Mikel Arteta. And in all fairness, Charlie, I'm just going to say this, and I thought to myself, oh God, why have we got him? Because in all fairness, that at that time, Carlo Ancelotti was out of a job. I would have thought he would have went for Carlo Ancelotti at Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta was better off going to Everton to get a bit of experience under his belt for management. But obviously he wasn't. So obviously we ended up pulling the short straw. I get it, what Mikel Arteta has done. I get it, but he cannot take us any further. I can't see it. He can't take us that further to win a trophy. I mean, he's thrown 2 trophies in the bin this season. We ain't got the team to win the Champions League, so that's another competition we're going to go out of. And also, I don't think we're going to catch Liverpool. And you look on the last couple of games now. Look how form Man City's been in. This is the time of year as when with Man City, they put their foot down on the accelerator and they just ride through every single one of their opponents from now until the end of the season. So you got to say they're up there as well. It won't surprise me if they finish second.
We've done it a couple of years, didn't we? The last 10 games we won 2 years running.
We did, yeah.
Normally with City, and they're normally up there anyway. They're normally on top of the league.
They are up there, yeah.
You know?
But I'm just saying, with the way Man City are playing at the minute, I think they'll finish second. I do. I think it'd be Liverpool first, Man City second. We'd be lucky to get third or fourth. But it's like I said, Charlie. It's my own opinion, but I've got no faith in this manager at the minute. Nothing against him personally, but I've got no faith in him. And the only reason why I've got no faith in him, the window.
The thing is,
the January transfer window was rubbish. The summer window was rubbish. We had
in 5 years. In 5 years, you've got second. In 3 years, we've got third.
Yeah.
This is a thing. One for you, Charlie.
3 seasons, not 3 years.
James is asking, do you think Arsenal will chase down Liverpool?
Well, as I said, they've got City the weekend, and we've got to play them. A small word, but a big meaning. If City beat them and we beat them, then, who knows? It is a good running. But the thing is, it's all right saying we've finished second for the last 3 years. Without us, the league would have been won at the end of December. We're the only ones that have took any team, and give them a go.
What, Liverpool? We're the only team to actually that they haven't beat.
Dear God.
We're the only team that Liverpool haven't beat this season.
I think Charlie's talking about overall.
Look, let's put it on the table. Let's put it straight. I've asked this question to so many Arteta love fest people, and not one person can ever tell me what he brings to the table. Not one. I've asked Egal. I've asked loads of people. Nobody yet can tell me what he actually brings to Arsenal Football Club.
He brings.
So, Jez, you say Simeone. You say he's going to win the Premiership in his first season.
Possibly.
So if he don't, what do we sack him?
No, but we've had this guy for 5 years.
Give him 5 seasons, like Arteta.
Hang on, Yeti. We've had this guy now for 5 years. He's won fuck all, right? Because don't give me the FA Cup, because that was not his team. That was Emery's team and Wenger's team, right? At the end of the day,
Wenger's team and Emery's team.
There was a couple of players that Wenger bought. Who bought Aubameyang? Who won the FA Cup?
Well, come on. You're talking about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
fair enough. I accept that. But
I'm just saying, because a load of people throw in the argument, he won an FA Cup. No, he didn't. He won it from the quarterfinals where Sheffield United had 2 goals disallowed. Yeah? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. No.
Man City, shit day. Chelsea lost their best player at the cup final when there was nobody there. Right, he won it. Fair play. Well done. We all thought he was going to kick on from there. Yeah, I did. I thought, yeah, well done. Let's go. Let's go. What's he done since, mate? Fuck all. Got rid of a load of players. Yeah, right. He got rid of Ozil quite rightly. Should have gone. Guy was a trouble. He was a trouble. Aubameyang and Arteta fell out. Fair play. Right. Never replaced him. 3 years ago, we haven't had a striker, an out-and-out striker.
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying like I totally agree that we need an out-and-out striker.
Tell me, please tell me, mate. Please tell me. I'd love somebody who's an Arteta fan to tell me what he brings to the party.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Good. Exactly. That's
regardless of what, I will back him if we win, lose, or draw.
Good man. So you're not an Arteta fan?
I am. I do believe that he will take us further, but that's my opinion. Because it ain't your opinion, don't mean I've got to agree with you.
No, of course it don't.
Yeah, but you said if we don't win it this year, we go again.
What are we going to do?
Get another manager.
If we don't win it then. So if you get Simeone in...
Long time. You've been watching Arsenal.
If you get Simeone and he done with nothing for 5 years, then what do you do?
Say again, sorry, mate.
If, say, Simeone come in.
Yeah.
And he never won nothing for 5 years.
No, I wouldn't keep it for 5 years. I'd say maximum 2 years, get out. Like other clubs do.
But you can't build, you know yourself, you can't build a squad overnight. It takes time. No matter what team you are.
What,
because
10,
every manager,
20 years?
Every manager has got a vision of their own team and players.
You cannot say, mate, you cannot say this manager, Arteta, has bought the right players.
I'll be dead when you win it.
Let's be fair, he's got rid of a load of shit, bought a load of shit. Come on, admit it. He's bought some shit players at exorbitant money. He bought £65 million.
Was that him? I'm not saying it ain't, but was it Edu?
He has to say, mate.
Well, no one really knows what goes on upstairs in a football club.
Well, I'm sorry.
No one knows what goes on upstairs in Arteta's head either.
I agree with you there, because at the end of the day, that manager will sit down in the summer window, right, with whoever. Well, Edu's gone now, and I think we also all know, Charlie, right, that Edu, he made the statement he didn't like Arteta getting the extended contract, and he didn't like how much power he had in the club. He got an offer, he fucked off, right? Yeah? Because he could see what was happening. He could see it. Yeah?
Maybe.
Edu, I think, Arteta is going exactly down the same bastard road that Wenger did. He had too much power, too much clout in the club. And at the end of the day, the only thing is, I was an a Wenger outer when I gave up my 40-year season ticket in 2016. I'd had enough. I thought, fuck this, I'm done. I've spent hundreds of thousands of pounds going to watch this fucking club. I'm not seeing anything out of it. Yeah.
The thing is, I think at the end of Wenger's tenure, 98% of supporters wanted him out.
Exactly.
He'd probably gone on 4 or 5 years too long.
Yes,
Ty was the other 2%.
Way too long. Way too long.
You don't realise how lucky you are. You've had trophies and a Champions League and all sorts of stuff. What West Ham had fuck all.
At least he won shit. He won titles. 2 doubles. What's this guy done? He's a scrub. Right?
You've never won the Conference League, though, Jez, have you, son? Never. Yeah, I mean, we can sing that to you next week.
Oh, no, we wouldn't want to win that, mate, because that's below us, like the Carrier Bag Cup. We don't want to win that, mate.
We've got bigger fish to fry.
It's all in our hands.
You know, I just
Well, look, we said the 50th episode would be interesting in that, and obviously it has kind of got to be quite interesting already, basically. We know the situation with Arsenal. We obviously know that this manager is definitely going to divide the fan base. There's no two ways about that. You can clearly see it. And yes, Arsenal man, Terry
division is
Terry's dad, 100%. And very much like Terry, he is very much Arteta in as well. And fair play to the pair of them because they do stick to their guns when it comes to that, and you can't knock that. But look, Arsenal will be where they are, and let's have a look at the other teams now because obviously we've got quite a few people in the chat. They've enjoyed this. Don't get me wrong; they've enjoyed listening to all this. But we'll also have to talk about our clubs, Nottingham Forest as well as Man United, which we'll leave till last because I think that's going to be the icing on the cake, basically, from that.
It's probably going to be where they are in the league as well. Last.
Well,
I just smelt me fucking beer. I'll be back in a sec.
I thought I heard something go. I did. I heard the clang. I thought, what was that?
Jesus Christ. So let's talk about the game of two halves from West Ham. I don't know if any of you guys watched it on the panel, apart from obviously the West Ham people. But of the Man U and the Arsenal people, did you actually watch our game?
I didn't actually.
I was in your chat. I was watching it with you.
I know you was, mate. I know you was there with me all the time. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. I mean, the first half especially, the biggest thing for me was why he didn't start off with that team he put in the second half. Mike, James?
I don't blame him, mate. I don't blame Potter. I blame the fucking players. Some of these players have been the same for the last two managers previous to that, and people are going, "Oh, it's Potter. Get out the bin. Right, get in the real world." Yeah, this is not. These players are shit. Some of them, and my biggest fear is that I'm happy that there's three shitter teams than us.
Yeah.
Because if we was one of them three shitter teams, we would be relegated this season. We're not good. We rely too much on Bowen. We've got a defence that keeps conceding goals. We've got no midfield. I'm going to say it. We haven't replaced Rice. I know it's hard to do. Because he's a top player, right? Some Arsenal fans agree. Some Arsenal fans don't agree. But he's a top player for us. He was for us. And we just haven't, people need to stop blaming Potter, mate. Like yesterday, for me, I make it short and sweet with me. Game of two halves. First half, we was shit. I understand that he changed it at half time and we looked better, but we had to look better because we was that shit in the first half. Like you couldn't get any worse. Do you know what I'm saying? So being better doesn't mean to say it was amazing. Right? It was just better. Yeah. And in the end, Brentford deserved to win, hands down. They done a job on us, compressed us, stopped us, and basically set back and nicked the game 1-0 to a point.
True. I mean, what's your view on it, Mike? So what do you make of it?
Yeah, I had to watch the game today because I was out all day yesterday, so I couldn't catch it. I would have been at the game, and luckily I wasn't watching it back because this is the thing. I agree with everything James said. That this is the thing with what we've done over the past few managers. Like we've blamed some of the players and sometimes been the manager's fault, etc. But when the players consistently have the same behavioural patterns, it comes to a point where you stop making excuses for these players. Like I've allowed enough time for people like Mohamed Kudus, for example, under Lopetegui. It was like, okay, I'm playing on the left wing. I'm going to criticize you for what you're doing wrong, but I understand that it's not your most comfortable position or whatever. But ever since Potter's come in, someone like him, for example, when you have played more in the middle or more on the right, you haven't given enough of what we've seen from you in the past and the glimpses of what we've seen from you in the past. I do like what Potter's trying to do. Like I'm very much in the fact that I like this appointment. And I think it's a lot to ask for someone like him to install this kind of style of play within the middle of the season with no preseason. Whereas the previous manager had a preseason, and 8 months in, we still didn't know what he was trying to do. So he needed to go. It was his long time overdue, but he needed to go. But some of the big name players like a Paquetá, Kudus, or whatever need to step up. They need to stop giving away the ball needlessly in the first phase of play when we're trying to play out, etc. Like someone like I've been impressed with someone like a Wan-Bissaka this season. I haven't really got many complaints about him or whatever. And I think when Tadebo's got more fitness, he should come in for Mavropanos. I think could all agree on that as West Ham fans. But even with the midfield as well, I agree we haven't replaced Rice. I defended Alvarez quite a lot last season, but when at the start of this season, for me, when you got them red cards too close to each other against Forest and Liverpool, it became again the same patterns over and over again. When they need to get slide in for those challenges there, I knew that this guy he's just too reckless. He just loses his head way too much, and I feel like I've said this when Potter came in. With the midfielders he had at Brighton, they had a certain amount of strength, power, and technical ability. Like he had Caicedo and Bissouma at Brighton. He had Lallana and Pascal Gross, who were all good on the ball. can pass and progressive wise. And I don't think we have enough midfielders, or in fact, I'd go as far as say any midfielders that are good enough on the ball, like in deeper areas where we can progress it up. And people like Prowse and others and stuff, I don't think they're good enough at that. And even with Suchek, I know he's trying his best. I think he's done really well since the manager's come in, but at the same time, I don't think he'll be good enough when the manager wants his own team in terms of like in possession and the stuff like that as well.
When you have to call back James Ward-Prowse from that man up there's team, that right, who's taking the piss out of us here? Because James Ward-Prowse comes back and he's a better midfielder than what we've currently got.
Yeah,
like,
he was good in the second half.
Like he should never have been loaned in the first place. Yeah, that's the first thing. I think we've got a lot of problems. And the next 3-4 games, if I got this right, we've got Arsenal, Leicester, Newcastle, Everton. We need to pick up a result somewhere along the line. And honestly, I don't even see it. Look, at this rate, I feel like Potter is trying his best with shit tools. And the geezer needs machinery, not fucking rusty old tools. He needs people to go in and do the job. He's got goalkeepers who can't play at the back. He's got a centre half who's shit in Mavropanos. He's got Alvarez who's a walking yellow card, and he's got a front line of players who, I'm going to be straight, I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're going. Like Evan Ferguson for me, we've signed a player that we're going to develop for another club. How the fuck does that make any sense? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, for me, it's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And it starts at the top, it works its way down. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Am I fearful of relegation? And someone just said it to me on Twitter just a minute ago. Oh, don't worry about it, James. We're fine. Fuck me, mate. I've seen West Ham go down on 43 points. Yeah. Until we're safe, until it's the final game of the season and we're 4 points clear of safety, then I'm happy. But until that time, West Ham are never too good not to go down, mate.
Yeah.
I hate that comment. You're too good to go down. It just does my fucking head in.
Yeah, I just agree with the point earlier about that. My exact thing on my match reaction yesterday was we're lucky that there's 3 teams worse and 4 teams worse. Like Wolves, Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton for me are battling it out. Like obviously, you can never say that you're guaranteed to stay up or whatever. And that's the thing. Like I don't know who's going to go down on them 4 specifically, but for me, I'm not worried about going down. But you can never be sure, as you said, when it comes to West Ham, because it's West Ham. Like you're never too sure what's going to happen. And I do agree with the points earlier. It's just like for me, like it's a repeat cycle from the top. Like it's never going to progress anywhere unless the top fix up. I've had such a mess up the top in terms of structure and some stuff like that as well. It feels like nobody is aligned in the same direction at the club, and I feel like it was kind of the worst time. As much as I wanted Potter to come in, it's the worst time to sort of hire him in the middle of a January transfer window. And also, you should have hired him after the Leicester game, where it wasn't 1 day before an FA Cup game where you had 1 training session, which was kind of ridiculous in itself. And I agree with the Evan Ferguson point as well. Like we're just developing him for another club. So either they sell him for a bigger price to another club where they'll price us out, or they'll just keep him because they see him as a good option if he does well here.
There's a lot. There's a lot. And when I do hear it from other fan bases about their clubs, I can understand it. But they're never in fear of going down. They're always in fear of going down. And any West Ham fan out there goes, right, the old guard used to say, well, we need to get to 40 points. That's the first thing. Get to 40 points and then we're good. But the biggest fear with me, I'll just say this quick and I'll let anyone else wants to land. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think if West Ham ever slipped into that position this year, I don't think they've got the people in there to get them out of it. I think Mo is a player that is flat. His mindset on the move elsewhere. We've got too many people, too many passengers at this club. And when you have, no disrespect to James Ward-Prowse, because I never wanted him to go in the first place, but when you have to bring a lone player back,
didn't want him either,
right? I know you didn't, but when you bring a lone player back, and he looks better than what you currently got, that tells me all I need to know about what's going on in behind the scenes at West Ham, mate. To be honest.
Yeah, that's
the thing. There's a lot of points between it though, as well. Because I mean, Wolves are 19, you're 27.
Yeah, but what it is, we've got 10 points but we've got Leicester. Well, I'm not being funny. We ain't beating fucking Arsenal, right? Well, we ain't drawing against Arsenal, right? If Arsenal score first, Arsenal will roll us about 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if they ain't got any strikers, the big one's Leicester on the Thursday night. If we lose that game against Leicester, then panic stations are going to start appearing because then we've got Newcastle. We've got Newcastle 10 days later, and then we've got Everton away, which fucking hell, the David Moyes in that thing, and which is still carrying on now to this day, is driving me completely mental. Got half the fan base who literally can't let go of the ex-bird, and then you got the current fan base who are trying to get on with the new bird, but the old bird keeps appearing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just, honestly, mate, it is a fucking joke, honestly. And some of them I'm trying to strangle, and I love David Moyes. Listen, David Moyes gave me my best moment in 2023 of my 38 years of life, and I will never ever forget him for that. But sometimes in life, it's like an ex-bird, you've got to let it go. Or an ex-wife, you've got to let it go and move on to bigger and better things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Too much of online.
Have you got a star in your shirt for winning that one?
Yeah, it's probably Sullivan charges extra for that. 100%. 100%.
We know what
they've got a chocolate store. They ain't got a real one.
I'd had to throw it in there because we know what the Yeti is. He's going to come out.
They've got one like what you get in a Kinder Egg.
What about we won the World Cup in '66, West Ham? So don't worry about it. We've got our one star already. We're there. Done. Simple as that. Question for the West Ham boys. Gun Down UK, big up to yourself. And he's saying, how long before Kudos wants out of West Ham?
Nah.
Probably does now, yeah. I was going to say, like, his agent's probably already talking. He changed agents not that long ago. And to be honest, before this season, I accepted he was going to go, but I thought he'd have a good season this season. We sell him for the release clause. We'd be lucky to get even half of that the way he's playing right now. And that's why I have high expectations for the bigger names at this club, because you've got to step up. Like, anyone can be criticised at this club. Just because you had a few glimpses of good performances doesn't mean when you go on a bad run of form, I'm not going to criticise you. There's no such thing for me as credit in the bank when you're not performing now. Do better.
I don't think he's a bad player though, right? Listen, I think his confidence is shot to shit. Yeah, listen, Lopetegui does that to people. Like he's done that to enough all our players. Yeah, so I don't think Kudus is a bad player. I just feel that he's just lost his way, and sometimes you can't keep defending the indefendable. Like you just can't. I can't keep defending this man when he's playing shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, he's not 85 mil. I know that right there. Right. And if someone comes in the Premier League and wants to pay 85 mil for him, I think they're on drugs, if I'm being severely honest. But it goes sad. 38.
38 million. Yeah. His release clause is 85. And the thing was, Charlie, in the summer, I think it was 1st of July, no one triggered it. No one came in for him. That's why he's still with us. Now, probably, at the time, he probably would have been worth it when that season before, when he was decent. But since, as James just said there, when Lopetegui came in, I've said it, and Anthony knows this as well, and most of the boys on the panel know it. For me, it was the Spurs game when he got himself sent off. That was down to Lopetegui and frustration. That was, in my eyes, that was that.
It might have been the Brentford game when he took him off at half time.
Oh, well, there's that as well, yeah. But the thing with Van der Ven at the Spurs game, that was clearly down to that.
Yeah, as James said earlier, that's what Lopetegui does to you. Literally, somehow made every player look dejected out there, and every player look way below their standard. As much as they're not performing now, you can still see that Potter's getting something out of some of these players. I said way before Potter came in, like every midfielder that we have, if you're going to give Potter the long-term deal or whatever, would need to be upgraded on, but for the way he wants to play. Simple as that. He had a certain amount of power and technical ability at Brighton with Caicedo and Basuma, etc. We ain't got that. And
would you West Ham boys have Moyes back?
You done me there, son.
No.
You answer. Who wants to answer first out of the three of us?
I'm still saying no, but
I'll answer it. I'll answer first of all. I think if you look at it for me, Charlie, his time was done. The season before he went, I'm sure it was put on the table then that his contract weren't going to be renewed, because how he was on that last season before he went was nothing like the previous three. You could tell he was just going through the motions, in my eyes, he was going through the motions, and it showed the way West Ham played. But that's my opinion of it.
I agree.
I agree with Tone to a point, but there is some things that was taken out of context massively from our fucking owner. Now, when someone hands you a contract and the man says, right, I'm going to wait because some of the terms and conditions on the contract ain't right for him, he's got the right to say that in any form of business or work or whatever you do in life. Yeah, you've got a choice. Yeah. The moment Sullivan pulls the contract away, it's an insult. And I understand why Moyes said, you know what, fuck you then, to a point, because I've done this. I've built this club up, right, with 8th, 6th, 7th, 14th trophy, 9th. That's not bad going for West Ham United Football Club, considering we've only finished in the top 10, I think it's like 8 times in the last X amount of years. Would I have him back? Do you know what? When you look at Everton and the stability, my key thing with West Ham is stability, because we lack it in many, many departments. And Moyes did make us stability. Right, he sort of shut the noise from Sullivan and all that. So if someone said to me right now, would you have him back and reset everything again? I probably would do, mate, if I'm being honest. I really would. Yeah, not to say anything against Potter, but when you've dealt with Lopetegui, Pellegrini, Bilic, yeah, and people like that over the years, and you get to a David Moyes who basically stabilised everything and took us on a journey. Who am I to say no to that, mate? If I'm being honest.
I think.
So,
I agree.
Moyes in or out?
Me? Was it Moyes in or out? Nah. I backed Moyes all the way to the end, man. Right, because he's the manager of the club, yeah. And for me, I felt like there was two sides of the coin. People have got this entitlement that they think we deserve better. I've got a realistic entitlement to say that what he was delivering was better. And there's two. Like, I'd rather see what's in front of my eyes and contain that. And I was worried. I'll be straight. I was worried because I know what Sullivan's like as our owner. He always goes cheap. He always goes with a free sort of appointment. He does it all the time. And he proved it in Lopetegui. He brings him in and it's just a disaster from minute one. So, no, I was never Moyes out. It got to a stage, though, last year, and Tone knows this, it was getting draining. Any time we would win a game, we'd be saying, well, come on, like, we've won a game, let's try and think positive. And people would say, oh, yeah, but I want that fucking manager out. And I'm thinking, well, hold on a minute, like, come on, you've got to look at the game first, yeah, look at the players, and then look at the manager last. It felt like people were looking at the manager first, the players second, and the game last. And it was just all ran the wrong way for me.
Yeah, even though I wanted Moyes out, I thought the way
I think I've been cancelled.
I thought the way Sullivan handled the
carry on, mate.
I thought the way Sullivan handled the contract situation was just poor, because it felt like when Moyes was talking about it on the overlap, it felt like a typical Sullivan thing of, well, I tried to offer him a contract and he rejected it, sort of thing. So you can say that he tried to get people off his back, sort of thing, in a typical Sullivan move. But like, if you offer a contract and then after a couple of games you withdraw your contract, like, we all know what's going on. Anyone that's a West Ham fan knows what Sullivan is like already. That's just a typical Sullivan move. Like, you offered him a contract after beating Arsenal, and then 2 games after that, then what? Like, kind of says all you need to know about the owner itself. And the thing is, as much as I like Potter, he's going to be restrained a lot, depending on what the owner gives him, etc. Is he going to have the recruitment team around him the same way he did at Brighton? I doubt it. But let's say he gets even the personnel in. Are they even going to have the power? Or is it going to be a whole fighting a power situation at the top again? So we'll see what happens.
Sorry, lad, we can't see you yet. What it is, Scott has beamed you up on the Starship Enterprise there, but you shrunk you. You're in the middle. I could just give us a wave. Right?
Well, you wouldn't say it if I did.
Just going to come back to the West Ham boys, because there is look, Mike's put in here and there. Do you think West Ham will need to sell before you buy? And I think it's quite obvious that we definitely need to do that. It's who we sell, though. That's the question.
Well, we've got too many people that we need to sell. Got too much Deadwood in the club, mate. Like, too much Deadwood on a lot of money. Like, Danny Ings is on 125 grand a week. Let that sink in.
That's ridiculous.
Fucking that even pains me even saying it.
Who's going to even want him? Who's going to even want him at that point with that age and that amount of wages? Like,
he ain't going to get there again. Like, he'll go to the Championship with Southampton probably. It wouldn't surprise me
probably.
if it goes like that. You, I think we've got a lot. I think we've got a lot of players that we need to sell. It's more to the point of who do you keep. I think we've got about 8 players that we would keep, and the rest of them can easily go. But you can't get rid of 17, 18 players in one window, can you? Let's be honest.
Half of them are probably new signings as well. I keep Kilman, Wan-Bissaka, and Somerville are the new signings, and Bowen, and that's it. Tanibo, and that's it. Like, it's very hard to say when the players were here before the summer who I'd keep, to be honest.
You made a good point yesterday, James, didn't you? When you think, you said going through the list of the players and who you would keep out of the lot, and you said, it will come down to about 8 players.
I suggest it to anyone. Any West Ham fans watching this right now, smash a like on the video for Tony first and go and write down all the 25, 26 players. I can guarantee you, if you used to write them all down and be honest to yourself, you keep about 8. And that's not me being over dramatizing it or fuck all. It's like me being honest. Like, I just feel that Potter's got
the drama. The drama.
Oh, these Forest fans only celebrate when they win, don't they?
I can't wait to 10 players this season, West Ham. I had so much shit on our show. Being an Arsenal fan, we didn't sign one player. And this guy above me was saying, "Well, Anthony, we signed our 9th player. Yeah. What have you signed?" And it's like, I couldn't say anything because we didn't sign fuck all. And then after they signed another one, and then it's just gone fucking downhill from there.
I know. Well, it ain't looking good for us, mate. What was it? We signed 9, and we've got about 4 that's any good at the 9. So, it's just crap, really.
Yeah.
Sounds like an episode of EastEnders.
Boom, 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 boom.
What has happened to Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, the wheels are starting to wobble.
Nothing.
What has happened to Forest?
Views.
Nothing, mate. Nothing's happened to them.
But 2 weeks ago, you were giving it all.
We're just taking a break. We're taking a break.
How was you feeling against
their Dubai trip?
How was you feeling against Exeter the other night, mate? Because I was literally watching it and I was thinking, I bet he's going mental. He's going mental in penalties.
We should have won that in the first half. I mean, the amount of space that Sangari had, he made one good through pass to Awonyi, who's injured again. I mean, but fair play. I get that injury. He was brave. He went into the goalkeeper and, smacked his fucking head into his head. So he's obviously broke his nose. I mean, the way he reacted, I was like, bro, I've broke my nose in the past. And it's like, I ain't reacted like that. Like he's on some kind of theatre shit. And he's injured again because he's broke his nose. But
he was worse than
yesterday, but yesterday, if you want to talk about that, Fulham are a bastard team for us, 100%. We just cannot seem to sort of get over the Fulham thing, and I'm not going to sit here and say that we didn't turn up or anything like that. They were just better than us. They was absolutely better than us. I thought for the first 10, 20 minutes, I thought we was decent. We was doing some decent passing and stuff like that, keeping quite a lot of the possession. But then they break and for fuck's sake, Emil Smith-Rowe, my fucking big toe's taller than him. How does he get a fucking header? It was ridiculous. Absolutely shocking. But you know what? We're still third, and we've still got 2 European Cups, so fuck you, Jez.
You do know you've got us on the final, on our final home game of the season. It's West Ham United versus Forest, and we're going to end the dreams of the Nottinghamshire Massive. You'll be crying in your winter bits as we speak, 100%.
The only dreams I see you. The only dreams I see you taking part in at the minute is nightmares. So you ain't getting me no dreams.
I know, man. That's a guaranteed 3 points at the LS, mate, for us, 100%.
Ward-Prowse free kick winner, imagine.
It's on the card, isn't it? Ward-Prowse comes back and imagine
100%.
Imagine you get Conference League because of Prowse. That is just poetry, isn't it?
Finally scores a free kick.
Now I just had a look at the table. You're 4 points clear of Chelsea. I think City will overtake you eventually, but
I think they will eventually.
Yeah. But 4th's definitely on. 100%. Fucking Bournemouth. Look at Bournemouth at the minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, they're on a tear at the minute, aren't they? And big respect to them as well because they deserve it.
Yeah, and big up to Matty in the chat as well because I know he's watching this as well. So yeah, Bournemouth doing very well.
Yeah, big up Matty.
To my good old friend Lone Star, as always, Tony Arteta says congratulations on 50 episodes, despite the fact you haven't won a single argument. I don't argue. That's the difference.
Well, he's not won a single thing, so that's the same as that, isn't
it? Yeah, killed it there and then. Don't forget, Moyes was having a dreadful season in the year we won the cup. The football was dross for ages. Very true, Ian. Yes. Have you disappeared? No, I can see you quite clearly.
I did for a minute. I did actually disappear.
But the thing is, I just want to go back to that comment with Ian, yeah, because shout out to Ian. I can understand the football was shit, but are we picky in regards of trophies? Because if West Ham finished 14th every year but won the Carabao Cup or got to the final for the Conference League, I don't think no one would fucking care, mate, if I'm being honest. Really. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because the way my attitude with this, I had this conversation quite a lot with people, really do, especially on E20. And one side wants to see attractive football, the other side wants to make memories. But I'm one who wants to make memories. I've seen good football, and we've won nothing. So I'm not going to sit there and sort of go about the good football side of things. Like, the thing is, that Conference League means a lot to many West Ham fans, but then some people downgrade it and go, it not so much rival clubs or other clubs because that's up to them. But even our own fan base downplay the trophy that we've won. It's the first one we've won in 40 years. Now, if someone said to me right now that Bournemouth are going to get in the Conference League and go and win it, you tell me a Bournemouth fan who's going to have the ump with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're not. Like, it's a trophy that makes it
that's where you're going wrong though, because when like Arsenal win like a charity shield, they changed the name to a British Super Cup. You know, and that's what you need to be doing to make
it's the English Shield Cup.
Yeah. It's the English dog plate. That's what it is.
Actually,
win.
You're wrong. If you go into Google right now, and look and type in what has Arsenal won, right, in trophies, they Google classify the Community Shield, old Charity Shield, as an English Super Cup.
That's very true.
So they can actually read it
right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these gooners can actually read as well. That's
17 times. It's called the FA Community Shield, and it is sponsored by McDonald's. You know what I mean? Shout out to McDonald's. And you've won it 17 times. So.
Well, where's our fucking star?
Hold on. Arsenal actually won the Football League Centenary Trophy. They're the only ones to have done it, I think. But yeah.
You'll never sing that.
Intercities Fairs Cup. Have you heard of that one, Chez?
Yeah. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
All right. Usual witnesses to it.
Newcastle won that the year before, didn't they? The season before, Newcastle won it. Then Arsenal won it the season after.
That's right.
Yeah.
Love you, Lawrence, for this as well. Tony used to be slow with the comments. Now clicks them in and out like spam emails. Yes, I do indeed. There's a few people.
Just don't go on Google and look up dogs and cups because that's not a good
dogs and cups equaled win.
There's a website for that.
Yeah.
I must admit, listen, from an outside, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans, especially like I used to live in North London in Hornsey, funny enough, which is round the corner from Arsenal football ground. So me being a West Ham fan, it was epic. When I used to hear a lot of stuff that Arteta does, it does baffle me. I can understand the frustration because you don't act like that and do sound effects and light bulbs and dogs and things like that. It's just fucking, it's a bit mental, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's not even me taking the piss. I'm actually being genuinely serious. Like,
it sounds like a bad porn movie, to be honest, doesn't it?
It does. We're doing samba and yoga. That's what we're doing now. We're doing samba and yoga. Nico Arteta's got us doing. Our players.
Say that again. Yoga.
Yoga and samba. Samba, they're listening to all this relaxing music and trying to get them to relax when they go out on the pitch. Instead of having your mindset where you go out on the pitch, honestly, it's literally. I've read it on Arsenal websites. I've heard it on streams. Literally, I've even said it on the show, haven't I, Tim?
The funniest thing will be is if Arteta ends up on Strictly Come Dancing, man.
Does he like, like before a
I
game,
will
does
piss
he play the
myself, mate.
umbungo?
I will think of all
Does he play
yous.
the umbungo advert?
Well, Tony Adams went on there, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So did Merson, though. So Paul Merson.
Yeah, Mercer as well. As we're on the air on that, just want to say to people in the channel with that, thanks for hanging around with us still. I will be putting the description of all the guys that's on the panel on that, so make sure you go and hit a like, share, and subscribe to their channels as well. Make sure of that. But we will move on to Charlie first of all, and then we're going to come with Fuzzy with his go. So Charlie, if you'd like to introduce yourself and obviously last man standing, please.
Right, yeah. As many of you may know or may not know, I run a football game called Last Man Standing, where all you have to do is pick a Premiership team to win every week. Has to be a different Premiership team, though. It's £20 to enter. If you draw or lose, you're out till the next round. And since I've been doing it, I think we started off with about 100 players. We're now up to 380 odd. The jackpot now is over £6,000, and it's very good because it gives you something to talk about when you're in a pub with your mates and whatever, rather than get drunk and talk a load of old shit. You know, you're who did you have? Who did you have? You're through, and it's quite good. I finally got Tony in on it. Took a while, but I've got him. I've got his wife. I've got his sister-in-law, his brother-in-law, his boy. But it's just good fun. I mean, it's just something that, I mean, other people do it as well. Don't get me wrong, but we're building and building and building, and you know, our jackpot is going up every single game. So if anybody would like any more info or like to join or whatever, just go through Tony's link or just email winner is last man standing, and we'll be in touch. But yeah, I mean, it's worth the £20. It lasts between sort of 6 and 9 weeks, and it's just a one-off payment. So
Back in the
that's my sort of thing on it. Tone, thanks very much, mate.
No worries.
I'll move on.
Where do we find it, Charlie? Where?
Sorry?
Where do we find it, mate?
Just go on Facebook, winner is last man standing, or Instagram, or email winner is last man standing at mail.com. I say we're getting more and more players every game. We started off, I think the first jackpot was about £2,500, and now it's up to nearly 6.5. So there's more and more players joining every single time. And it just gives you something to talk about and something to look forward to. And people think it's easy to pick a Premiership team to win. 112 players went out this week on Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, it's
So-
not as easy as you think.
It's some.
And if it's any
somebody gets
consolation, Tone,
stitched up.
only 4 players went out on West Ham.
So if somebody gets stitched up and pulled like Man United, they go, "Oh, fucking hell, here, Charlie, just take the 20 quid, I'm gone."
Well,
is that what they do?
You have to let me know because I like to book my holidays in advance. You know.
I did happy.
But yeah, I'm sure Tony will put it in the link and whatever.
Yeah, I will do indeed. Make sure of that. But yeah, if you're interested, people in the chat, just let us know, and that I will put it in there, and we'll kind of mention it in the community page as well, and obviously try and bring it up to the next couple of shows we're doing as well.
Do you get a discount off of that? That comment, do you get a discount off of that?
Are you?
No, do you get a discount off the last comment you put up?
No, not at all, mate. Which one? This
Like,
one?
Yeah, Sullivan Sex Toys. Because did you get a discount? Any of you lot?
Absolutely. Yeah, West Ham fans. We get a discount on all the sex toys.
Oh,
I think he's looking for.
And don't forget, he works at the airport. We don't know what comes in through customs.
oh, it's true. This is true. I'll have that. Oh.
Anthony's obviously looking for discount.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that the weird shit that goes on down that West Country, man. Seriously, you know what I mean? dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh.
So, quick one for you West Ham fans or West Ham things, yeah? If Potter comes second in the league this year, what would you think about it? Is it something you'd aim for?
Yeah, I think how the fuck has he done that? To be honest.
You'd love it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And what if he comes second again next year?
I'd be like, how the fuck has he done that again?
I say he's consistent.
Wouldn't it? And you'd want him sacked, wouldn't you?
I know what you're saying. He said about Arsenal fans. What did
I'm
say?
just waiting for someone to come out and see it. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Charlie, I mean, I get what you're saying on that. You know, when Charlton was in the Prem with Alan Kirbishley, you got to think he got him up to 40 points and literally shut up shop.
Yeah.
Charlton fans called for his head. Look where they are now.
Yeah.
So it proves
what you wish for.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I mean,
What does second actually get you?
Oh, here we go. It gets you 17 places above anybody else.
Get you a dog, yes.
Well,
Get the dog.
Let's be honest. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. Coming second.
So would you rather we finish 8th or 9th then?
was no different to paying fucking second, is it?
Well, yeah, it is.
What it is, I just want to say this, yeah, is that I think where he's been here for such a long time. How long has Arteta been here now? 5, 6 years, isn't it?
5.
5, yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, because he was there.
Nobody remembers second place.
He arrived 2 weeks before Moyes arrived at West Ham. I think it was 2019 he signed for Arsenal, Arteta. And the thing is, where he's took Arsenal from being that eighth, then start to build them up.
No, you're wrong.
But where am I wrong, Jez?
He's Arteta was 8th, 5th, second.
Right, so he's 8th, 5th, second.
So he hasn't progressed.
Right. That to me is progression. The only thing I will give the Arsenal fans credit for this year is that when you come so close last year, this year they should have been where Liverpool are. They should be on the right. It should be where Liverpool are right now. Should be where Arsenal should be, because when you're going toe to toe with City, and City have dropped off, and Arsenal haven't really dropped off to a point. I won't say they've dropped off; they just haven't improved really. And Liverpool have just come from nowhere and gone there. And Liverpool fans, I'll be straight, Liverpool fans didn't believe that Slot was going to get them. They would have been happy with top 4. And to be 7 points behind Liverpool right now, and you go for Arsenal's side, they need a centre forward at the club, which they've been crying out for ages and haven't really sorted it out. They haven't really got a bench with any note. And if they lose 2 or 3 players, then their squad starts to rotate around, and it's not as good as like a City or a Liverpool. If Liverpool go and lose Salah, they can bring up like Diaz in or someone else in, or like they can work, strength and depth and things like that. So I think the only reason why Arsenal fans have got the this year, especially, because last season they were so close to City, and they got done right at the death, and this year, they're miles away. Really, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. Like, and with the money that they spent, also.
The thing is, I mean, you know, I get what people say. Some people think this is the Arteta is the Messiah, right? I never wanted him from day one. I didn't want him as a player. He was a panic buy. 11 o'clock transfer deadline day. He was a panic buy. Wenger was panicking, right? He was panicking. Got him. Yeah, okay. Average player at Arsenal. He wasn't the greatest. He was all right. Yeah, captain on a couple of few occasions. Yeah. My point is this, and I respect people that think he's the greatest manager since sliced fucking bread. He ain't. 8th, 5th, second. I've said this to many people. What does second achieve you? We're in Europe. What do we do in Europe?
Yeah, but the only thing I will say there, Jets, and I've got to be honest here, when you're up against City, and you're up against Pep.
I don't agree with that. That's
right. You're up against a top class manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pep Guardiola.
You got to be better than, aren't you?
That's what I'm saying. Pep's a world-class manager. Arteta isn't.
Exactly.
And he's always going to be better. Yeah. This is why this season, from an outside looking in from the Arsenal side of things, this was a season for Arsenal to attack and go, right, City have dropped. Arteta and Arsenal have to...
What is the problem, James? What is the problem?
I think from the outside looking in, I think it's personnel. I think not getting a striker at the club who's going to bang in goals consistently, that's a problem straight away. I think if Saliba or Gabriel go down, you're scrambling for players in that area. Yeah, it's okay.
Mate.
It's having the two, and if one of them goes down, that's that. I think Saka is an overused player. Very much overused, and what it is, Arsenal have to use him because they've got no one else. Obviously, Wanyeri, who they've found, he's doing well now, but he's not on Saka's level. You need someone who's just below Saka.
He's going to be overused as well.
He's only 18.
And then you got the midfield. The midfield for me, like the Declan Rice discussion, really does grind me because Arsenal fans think he's an 8.
Can I ask you?
He's not.
Whose fault is this?
But it is on Arteta. It is on Arteta, especially this season, because I think the striker front is. But you can't. My attitude is you can't knock him for what he has done in the 5 years. I know what you're saying.
He hasn't
done anything.
Man, 5 years.
He's won a fucking FA Cup and a fucking dinner plate. What else has he done?
2 dinner plates, don't forget. 2.
Oh, sorry, 2. Sorry. I apologise. I massively apologise.
He hasn't won the cup yet.
I don't understand this nonsense. Right,
2 dinner plates.
We've had managers, right? Let's just put some facts on the table, right? Terry O'Neill, right? Came in, youngest Arsenal manager ever.
Please won't remember Terry O'Neill.
Sorry?
Please won't remember Terry O'Neill.
Let's go George Graham, Wenger, all them lot. I mean,
he got us to 4 finals consecutively, 1-1. Because of lack of investment. Right? Like youngest manager ever in Arsenal's history, 34 years of age. Yeah? Got us to 4 finals, 1-1. We're not even going to talk about the 1979-81.
Right.
We fucked that right off against them.
Which one?
Yep.
Which one?
He forgets that one. But we don't talk about that.
You can go back.
Is that when Booking fell over and bought him on his head?
That's the one.
He went in.
They all count.
One of the can't deny it. One of the best managers Arsenal's ever had, Bertie, mate. Right, got first European trophy, double wins. Yeah, 2 League Cup finals, lost them both. Lost to Leeds, the great Leeds United's team in '72. Right. He got binned off. No investment. Nearly got relegated in '74.
Still no stars.
In comes Terry Neal. Right. 3 FA Cup finals on the bounce and a couple of right. And then we lack of investment again. Move on. He got sacked because I was one of them that went up to Islington Town Hall, get him out. Right? Yeah.
Yes, but that's when football was a sport.
Sorry?
It's business now.
That's when football was a sport. It's not sport no more, it's business.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, you're right there.
What
it is, Jez, listen, I understand what you're saying because the frustration is you've built up a side and now you've got to go and win things. I get that. I understand that. Listen, I'm a West Ham fan. We don't win fuck all, right? But I understand the mentality of it. Like that, you now, like it's okay working a 2, 3, 4 year plan, but at the end of that 4 year plan, you've got to see a return, and there's no return there. I think more so this year than any season. I think because where City have dropped off so bad, and Arsenal really. I don't want to be rude, but have Arsenal improved this year? I don't think they have.
No.
I think they've just stalled to a point. I think they're just stalling along and they're not gone up or down. Now, an ambitious owner, so to speak, goes out and gets you a centre forward in the January window. Like when you look at the City player who scored that trick yesterday, Mamouche. Like if Arsenal were serious about doing something this year, they go and get a centre forward. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I do look at it and from the outside, and I think, is this Arteta or is this the ownership? Also, you got to look at the owners and all on this one, and think, are they really up for it? Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Totally
I don't know whether they are.
Totally
I don't know whether they are, mate.
And as I said before, no one really knows what goes on like upstairs.
Nah.
Yeah.
Any manager can go to a club and they go, yeah, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. We'll buy you this, we'll buy you that. And then don't do fuck all.
I think there has to be a time limit though with Arteta, i.e., like, because how long do you keep persisting?
What,
with
20 years?
Like, yeah, like, see, like you've not, yeah, but in all seriousness, you've got to be. There's got to be a time limit to say, is this right?
Get by then.
Let me
Can he get us over the line?
Let's just give you this absolute fact. Right? It's a fact.
Even Mike, he's a young lad. He'll be dead by then.
No point. Arsenal's in no point.
You know, yeah.
And at no point in Arsenal history have we gone this year, this long, with a manager never won anything. Never, ever happened.
Yeah, but is that? I understand what you're saying. I do. I get that side of it. But has football changed, Jez, to a point? Because let's have it right. City will have been winning fucking everything. Yeah, City have like money pumped into there for years and been winning everything, and no one's been close. Right? And let's have it right. When Liverpool won the league a few years ago, they had to go toe to toe with City all the way to the end, and literally they done them by 1 point or goal difference, I think it was. Do you know what I mean? But I get the argument. Like, for me, from an outsider, if I was looking at Arsenal, I would say, right, this year you got to assess what's happening next year, right now, because if he doesn't win the league this year, which is looking highly unlikely, can you persist with this and keep finishing second and third? No. Because it ain't going nowhere, is it? Let's be honest.
Sustainable, basically. Comes down to.
Also, when Liverpool were competing head-to-head for them, they were still picking up more cups and the Champions League along the way. I think they only went one season when they were challenging for the league without winning a trophy. Like, they still picked up a Champions League 18-19 and won FA Cups and Carabao Cups along the way as well. But what the problem is with Arteta, I think he's proven that, like he is just a young manager, because, like, when Mourinho comes into Chelsea, when a Pep comes into City and a Klopp comes into Liverpool, just for examples, they go and win the cups first, as well as winning the league to install a winning mentality. Now, despite the FA Cup, when they are challenging for the league, instead of like trying to go for the cups as well, so they can start off with the Carabao Cup and then know what that feeling's like, so they can take that into the rest of the season. They dump that away so they can put all their eggs in one basket. And despite doing all of that, you take a big risk into just going for that one trophy, and then you come out with nothing.
Yeah, but I don't think...
Can he keep on going on with being second without taking the cup seriously, like FA Cups and Carabao Cups?
Yeah, but I don't think a Carabao Cup would be... I just want to say this, Jez, quick, yeah? I'll let you land, yeah? I don't think a Carabao Cup...
Can I... Fuzz actually say something? Because...
We're going to come on to him. Yeah, you're going to come on to him. That's why I've left the Jose comment here, because we're going to come on to him in a minute.
Right, I just want to say this quickly to Jez, yeah? Right, what it is, I don't think a Carabao Cup would be suitable for Arsenal right now. If Arsenal would have won the Carabao Cup, I don't think Arsenal fans would have been happy with that, right, and finishing second.
I was saying, even in the previous seasons, they weren't winning a trophy, though. They didn't allow it to take it seriously, so they know what it's like to have a winning mentality, so they could go on and win the league.
Yeah,
like when they started with a couple of years ago, when they first signed the Zinchenko's and Jesus and stuff, they were in the Europa League, and they binned off the Europa League to Sporting, binned off the Carabao Cup, and binned off the FA Cup, and they didn't win any trophy before that. So, unlike it'd be like what City did. One of Pep's first trophies was the Carabao Cup.
It could be worse. We could be Fuzz. So, Fuzz, over to you, son.
Yeah, so we're going to go on to him. Yeah, because obviously, look, our great friend Jose from El Torco Correl's just come in. Evening, lads. Coming, you Spurs. We got a win finally.
EVN.
Fuzzy, obviously, you must have watched your game today and that. I mean, what did you make of it? Oh, was it work?
Yeah.
No wonder you come in happy then early on when we first was talking.
Yeah, it's like you know, when you let off a balloon, a fully blown up balloon, and you just watch it fly around your room, just making a farting noise the whole way. That's kind of me as the evening's gone on, as I've sort of let the weight of this just sink in, that it sort of goes past results now, right? It's not just about a game of football for us Man United fans. It's the club itself is at the whole thing Manchester United is at risk. We are going to lose this club if we don't, as a fan base, as a collective, pull the finger out. We saw Spurs' biggest ever protest known to man ever today, and they want their owners out. We want our owners out. We've got a scheduled protest coming up again on the 9th of March against Arsenal. I wonder if somebody's going to, start invading the pitch again and try and get a game cancelled. I mean, talk about symbolic if that happens. But, geez, it's just like today, the bench today, the squad that we have, I mean, it took one training session to essentially see 4 first-team starters straight out of the picture and absolutely no adequate backup in the slightest available for selection. 2 more then get an illness. We've got Bruno Fernandes, who played like he was ill, but to be honest, he was probably playing like he had piles rather than an actual, a contagious illness. But if anything, it's just the picture that this paints. It's like this is Ineos 2025 when the bench, there is only one player on the bench today, Tottenham away, that is senior. That is, you could say, over the age of 20. And that was Victor Lindelof.
Yeah.
That is the only senior player we had on the bench today. Everybody else was academy graduate. Everybody.
Is Almiron in trouble for you, Fuzz?
Well, he's
Because-
basically the captain of the Titanic at the moment. The ship is sinking. He's either got to go down with that ship, or he's going to jump off. He's going to push a woman off of one of those lifeboats and take her spot. He's going to get out of the Dodge. But yeah, I mean, we see with the selection that he's got available, right? With the experienced players that he's got, and I apparently we've had Gary Neville for the whole first half droning on about the tactics are really bad. The formation is not right. And you think, okay, so make up with that starting 11. Make up.
What did he
the
do as a
formation.
manager? Nothing.
Well, he lost to Barcelona 7-1 and then got sacked.
Exactly.
With his brother.
What's he done?
But yeah, apparently it's like, I wouldn't do that. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't do it. You couldn't do it because you wouldn't get a job. So that is as simple as that. I mean, 45 minutes of droning on about tactics. It's just like you're ignoring the obvious here, right? Look at that team. Tell me how that team plays a different formation and garners different results. You've got one fit winger at the club. One fit winger. And that guy, this ownership wanted to sell as well. So we could have gone into this game with no wingers.
Is
what
it-
are we like,
is
what
it-
are they doing?
But is it a case of that Almiron's got to try and pull back all the layers of the onion and basically see what he's got available to him in the summer?
He needs
to a
his
point?
own team. He needs his own
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Right, the only problem is with Almiron is he's going from Sporting Lisbon, where there was no pressure on him at all and he was like a god there, to Manchester United, which is probably one of the biggest clubs in world football, and now the
Yeah.
spotlight is firmly on him now. And if he doesn't get
yeah.
results, he's in shit. He's gonna.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
a results business now, isn't it? Football?
Of course it is.
the ownership. That's the question that I beg to ask the ownership this question. What was the point of him coming in then, if this is the picture that you're going to paint for him? If those are the tools you're going to give him, what was the point of Amorim? Why not keep Ten Hag? Why not get Southgate? Why not get somebody who plays the most boring vanilla football you could ever possibly imagine in a 4-4-2 formation? Why not get him? It doesn't make any sense. It feels like let's get a trendy manager in, right, and get all of the fans hyped on that, because we know we are going to suck the absolute lifeblood out of this club and the fans will get rowdy with it. I think the only thing that's really not gone to plan for Ineos is just how bad the team has performed and how bad the
Fucking
results are.
shit.
Yeah, what that guy down there said.
Yeah, well, you stop being a pussy now and putting it in private chat and actually saying it on the stream. Well done, Anthony. Well done, Anthony. You've grown
Is
up
there-
today.
Congratulations for scoring again as well, Anthony.
Is there any
Yeah, well
threat?
done, bro.
Thanks, mate.
Right. Is there any threat of Almiron possibly getting the sack though? Right, because the way this is going, he ain't winning. There's no. How can I put it? There's no real change with United, really. And like, if you was to close your eyes, you'd think it's fucking Ten Hag side. I'll be honest.
I hope Amorim signs a 10-year contract.
We'll do that.
Well,
And that,
but
and
you probably
that.
you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to
He's
worry
the
about
man. When he gets his team, he's the man. He is the man.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is you look at Nice, also run by Ineos guided ownership. They in 6 years they've had 6 managers, so they're very impatient with their projects in Nice. So it begs to wonder if the same ethos over management is going to be replicated here. Amorim, these results aren't good enough, it's untenable. Let's sack him, get somebody else in because we need the stopgap. We need to fix up quick to avoid catastrophe. Because what's going on right now is the financial situation is what the PR teams are absolutely going into overdrive about. It's why, we can't sign anybody, or we must sell to buy. But they're absolutely in dreamland, because what's going to happen now is no European qualification next season loses you tens of millions of pounds, right? That's a lot of your transfer budget potentially flushed down the toilet. You finishing really far down the table, less competition earnings from the Premier League. So from a financial perspective, finishing bottom half of the table right above relegation zone and no European competitions whilst already in the shit financially, well, congratulations, you're now in even greater shit. And we've got to sit here and say, we need to sell to buy. Well, with this squad, you'd probably say, well, sell to buy just doesn't exist with the quality of this squad. You need to just buy to actually stock it up and get the quality up with the level of quality in the squad is through the floor. And it's like,
do you know what? I don't know what the expectation is at United. If I'm being honest, I don't know what they're trying to do or what they're trying to achieve.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
And honestly, I don't know what it is. Like, the thing is with Almiron, I think Almiron's a very good manager. I'd have loved him at West Ham. I rate him highly. Yet the issue is, can Man United keep patience with this geezer if he keeps losing games after all the time? Because what it is with United is they've got a image that has to be represented, and if that image is being tarnished, like Man United, where they are currently right now, it's quite embarrassing for them. I think, what are they, 15th, 16th, or whatever, 15th in the league. So that don't look good. And
Everton are telling us to mind the fucking gap. They're messaging us, Toffees fans.
We don't mention Everton here.
Mind the gap.
I did actually turn around and say, let's give Fuzz a chance to talk. But fucking hell, you took over the stream, bro. That wasn't what I meant.
Ian R said here, Fuzzy, seems to me Man United have similar issues to us. So basically, West Ham, it's not necessarily the manager or the players, it's the club as a whole, which comes from the top. Seems like the new ownership may not be the answer. So going on that, Ineos, what is it with all these laying off for people? And what's this woman that been there 30 odd years and got shot off?
I don't know. They basically, they're trying to dress this up as streamlining the project to garner better results. But it feels like with every passing game, there's just like, more cuts. The next round of cuts, they're looking at potentially doing the scouting department. You're thinking, what is the point of cutting down on how many scouts you've got? Because then that hampers your actual network. in acquiring players
Yeah.
and players on the cheap, but players that have got a lot of potential. So why are you now starting to cause all manners of problems in club operations by cutting down on all the wrong areas? Now, did the Manchester United boardroom, or the club staffing team, need to be slimlined a little bit? Yeah, it absolutely did. We had by far the biggest staffing team, probably in world football, definitely by far
You're
in the
talking
Premier
about
League.
the biggest club in the world, so called.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
from various
Well,
aspects.
they are though, aren't they? Let's face it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Image rights,
various- in
Well, not in
various
the world,
aspects, yeah.
in America, in England. Yeah.
In the Glazers' brains, it's definitely in America.
Well, in Manchester, anyway.
Well, they're never in Manchester, so they're
We're the biggest team in Nottingham. You know, it's one of them things, isn't it?
It's just absolutely just. I
So,
don't know.
going
what
back to the
slim
theme
are.
of the evening, are you hammering in or out?
Well, I'm more so hammering
Are
in,
you a
'cause
rimmer
I feel
or
like,
not?
yeah, I'm in on the rim job. But the thing is that I want to.
Other rim jobs are available.
I want the
Awesome
manager.
answer. Awesome
I-
answer.
I want the manager to get the benefit of the doubt. I want him to get the benefit of the doubt. I wanted this with Ten Hag. I wanted him to outlast the board and outlast the ownership. But I mean, it's just like this situation needs the fans. It definitely needs the fans, and now we're starting to see the murmurings from the 1958 starting to organise protests again. But this time around, there's a bit more sort of less content creators or big influencers and media writers and journalists all going at each other's throats for credibility in the scene, saying, "Oh, but I'm a better fan than you." Because I say this about this team and I say this about this manager and about this club. I'm thinking, how about we set aside the differences, right? Stop all the dick riding, right, and gassing up egos, and actually focus on a collective issue, which is Manchester United Football Club. The club you support and are arguing over is sinking. It's like if you got the mum and the dad arguing whilst their toddlers in the pool and slowly drowning, and everyone else is watching and go, "Guys, can you focus? Your toddler is drowning in the pool. Stop arguing." That's the situation with the fan base, and has been for a while, about the ownership.
That's because you got all them leaks in the stadium, isn't it?
Well, as far as the leaks,
leaks
I mean,
around
there's
the
not
brim.
just leaks in the stadium. There's leaks all over the club. People talking to each other and letting all the dirty laundry and all the backstabbing talk, make it all the way to the journalists and the media, and everyone's like, "Oh, I can't talk about the sources." Sure, you can.
I'll tell you what it is. What I think. I was just listening to what you were saying. Yeah, I think Man United need to do what Arsenal did: reset, start again, and start building themselves up to a standard. No, well, Arsenal fans will love him. Yeah, they have to take him. But what I'm saying is that they need to set him. They need to set Almiron a target each year. If Man United fans think they're going to get back to top form, competing for the Premier League anytime soon, they're having a laugh. Yeah, they're nowhere near it. Do you know what I mean? And when you're looking at likes of Bournemouth and Chelsea and all these other top clubs, and then you got that little club Forest there. It does get on your nerves a little bit.
Hey, bro.
I thought I'd get that little dig in there. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't talk about shit. But
you've got a chocolate European Cup. We've got two real ones, bro. So
do you know what I mean? But
you were saying here about Amron. He says he reckons he's aged 20 years and 6 months. He looks older than the penny black now.
Yeah, he's receded. His hairline's receded halfway now.
No, it does. This job absolutely ages you. It's like his pre-match conference when he obviously found out about all of his injuries. The guy looked absolutely dead in the eyes. Absolutely.
You're not the only club to have injuries. Don't come all that.
Well, no. Well, I mean, with the situation, it's like you're already surviving. already trying to survive.
You
and
build
then
a
you get one of
squad,
your-
so if you get injuries, you've got players to sort of come in. That's what you do, you know.
Well, tell that to
Talking about
Ineos.
Spurs here crying about injuries and all that kind of stuff. You build a squad to be able to get away from that. I mean, when we came into the league, we built a squad by signing 100 players.
Yeah,
when we
you
first
broke
came
rules,
in.
mate. You broke rules. You did. You're rule breakers. You know what I mean? We all know that you had 2 points
yeah,
deducted.
but we always had it in case we had injuries.
Criminals.
We always had somebody
Criminals are
come
Nottingham.
in.
You know what I mean? The
I would
sheriff
have
of
took the
Nottingham
stars
would be
off
nicking
them.
you right now.
I would have took the stars off
Robbing
them.
a show would
Yeah,
never
we're
do
not
that, man.
called Robin Hood for nothing.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. You know what I mean? You little bastards. You know what I mean?
Good on you for not good enough. He's saying, I was top 4 with Wenger while winning FA Cup's not good enough, but now top 4 and winning nothing is absolutely fine. It's a fair comment, actually.
I'm not even going to answer that.
Yeah.
No. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. When Man United, when they were under Ten Hag, they had better 2 seasons than in those 2 seasons that you won a trophy than what we did, winning nothing.
It feels like we were watching this, the water was leaking through all of the holes in the ship, and now Amarim's come in and Ineos have properly taken over. Just, we'll pull the plug and we'll just drain all the water now.
Well, I tell you
I'll
what,
leave all
guys,
the-
if your manager gets
That's
sacked,
what the leaks was.
yeah. I reckon if your manager gets sacked for us, I guarantee it. I pretty much know who your next manager will be, and it's not Gareth Southgate. It's not. I'm not going to say Southgate.
Nah,
I tell you what. If your manager gets sacked, your next
Sam
manager will be
Allardyce.
Ted Lasso.
no. I tell you now, this is true. I reckon it'd be Unai Emery.
Leave Rooney.
Unai Emery would absolutely be pissing himself laughing. He'll read,
No, I
read
reckon
one
it
story.
will be. If your manager gets sacked now, your next manager will be Unai Emery.
Still be better than Arteta.
Rooney's free.
Come on.
He'll probably.
Let's hold on before we carry on. Let's
think-
introduce Jose first of all, because look, he's here. Let's say hello to Jose as well.
How you doing, mate? All right.
Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you're all well. I've had you on pause on my laptop because I've been on another show, so I've jumped off the show. It's just finished. I didn't even say goodbye in the back room. I just jumped off and came in straight away. I did see some comments coming in, so obviously Buzz must have been talking about the game earlier because I saw the comments that were coming through. So, there's a few. I think there's a couple of you on here that. There's 3 of us at least here that's smiling because we got wins this weekend, and the majority of us
still
not the
smiling,
win.
but I lost.
Sorry.
I'm still smiling, but I lost.
It's
No,
hurting.
that's
It's
no,
hurting.
that's just
you.
win.
It's kind of a hidden smile, but it's.
I'm laughing because we're shit, but it's fine. You know what I mean? We'll just get on with it.
I have Pepsi saying I've returned because we won the game. We won our last league. We won our last league game as well. But we're still shit.
He's come in when they've lost as well, so you've got to give him that respect.
I'm not saying fuck all until Tony gets shit thing off behind him.
I don't know how they got up there, Jez. It's
Great
random.
days.
Yeah,
Great
weird.
days. I mean,
Oh,
It's really weird
and
how it
still,
works.
people still fucking moaned where we finished in the league that year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let me change it then, Jez. Let me just change it.
No, you carry on, mate. You carry on.
No, you bring up that CFAX page. I know me. I know you. So
There you
bring
go.
up,
Let me
there
just
it is. There.
Oh, CFAX 303 score line.
Yeah, bring it back.
There you go.
Oh, good
Those
old
were the days, lads,
CFAX.
weren't
Go with
they?
that one,
Those were the
don't
days.
They were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it double flickered, you knew it was a goal.
Yeah.
Hey,
You got-
James.
Yeah.
Were you even born then?
I was born 86, mate. I had McAvenny and Cotty. I didn't witness it. I was in the womb, but you know. it is what
Play,
it
mate.
is.
Fair play to you.
No,
Thing is, if you realise CFAX, that just shows your age, basically.
Oh, mate, growing up, mate, when you was younger, we couldn't afford to go to West Ham because I was fucking poor. But like used to watch it on the old teletext or like CFAX and sit there and
Yeah.
have it on like 303 or something, or the fast view or whatever it was. And
Yeah.
like, every
Good
time
old
West
days.
Ham played, I was like sitting there, and when an old fucking battered, was it Panasonic telly? Remember them ones? You waiting for it to turn all the time. But yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
the old Panasonics.
Yeah, I was at the ground. I was a bigger fan than what you was.
That's all right. Yeah,
I
you witnessed more shit than me, then, didn't you, son?
I was only like 3-year-old, but I was there. You know,
He was a
couldn't see
witness.
fuck all because of all these tall people, but you know, I was there.
Yeah,
Mate, the kids nowadays don't realise how lucky they got it, mate. One click of a button, and the fucking score is.
they were. You're right, though, James. They were good days, mate. That's when you used to like.
Oh, yeah, I used to love that. I love it.
And do you know what? On the radio, just want to say this quickly. Right, on the radio, listening to it on the radio, also back in the day, you get more buzz out of it on the radio. When the commentators like now, you could just watch it, can't you? But you know,
that's interesting. You say that because you know, like when I used to listen to like derby games on the radio, it was like
Forest
so
Derby or
exciting.
Derby.
No, just any derby was just like everybody going in and tackling, and it's like, oh, that's a terrible tackle, and all this, that, and the other. I used to think, like, I'd love to see this, like, on the screen, actually watch these games. And now you've got these derbies on the screen. The only good one I've actually seen, proper, like, getting stuck in, was Chelsea-Tottenham, where you guys got like loads of players sent off and all that kind of stuff.
You've never witnessed a Millwall West Ham one, mate.
Oh no, because obviously I don't care about your team, so
I know.
Watch it, would I?
What you're saying to me here quite clearly is Nottingham Forest Derby Nottingham Forest. You didn't go to the games.
No, I was actually there every time.
You know, you're a
he was a regular at the county ground,
bro,
100%, or the baseball ground.
I was beating up that fucking Ram fucking thing. What they've got running around.
You're a fake fan. You didn't fucking.
Yeah, fucking fake fan. Bro, you're one
sticky
of those
armchair
people
fan.
that
You was,
walk
yeah. You know what I mean? Sticky armchair
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
on the occasional Sunday evening, son. 100%.
With all the foreigners in the Premiership,
mate. Every game, every derby game, I was there for like 10 minutes before I got kicked out the fucking ground.
Yeah.
was that 3:10?
Proper wrong, really.
10 to 3.
10 to 3, yeah.
with all the foreigners in the Premiership, do you still think that players understand what derbies are and what they mean to clubs?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't.
nobody knew.
No.
They're
See,
smiling
that's
and
the
shaking
issue.
hands after the fucking game is annoying.
The game's changed so like dramatic now. Like it's more. I've said this on the show the other week. I think Jez was there and a few others. It's franchise football. That's basically what it is. Like what you're witnessing is franchise football, which is quite scary, really. I don't like it because it don't feel the same. Listen, no disrespect to anyone who's a foreign fan. One of the boys on E20 is an American who does the shows with me. But when you are sort of pricing out the locals, like, and you're giving it to day trippers and people like from the Far East or wherever to come and watch your team play, it just doesn't feel right. Do you know what I mean? You have to in any sort of football club, whether it's a small non-league club or a Sunday league club or a Premier League high-flying club, it all starts with community at the end of the day, mate. And so you've got to start, like, you've got to build the community, like, even with a fucking YouTube channel, like, you've got to build your community up to a point. And, you know, I just feel that now it's more of a franchise game, which is sad. It really is. 'Cause in 10 years' time, my biggest fear with West Ham, I'll use West Ham as a quick example, is that you're going to have a ground full of football fans, but not supporters. And that's the difference.
You're so right. I mean,
I agree.
Charlie, you know, mate. You know, Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal, right? They're not really rivals. It's tribal.
Yeah.
I think that's how I say it. I mean, I don't know where you come from in London. Islington.
That's being lost.
No, true. That is true.
It you know, to me, back in the 70s, they were rivals. 80s, maybe. Yeah. Not early 90s. Yeah. Okay, I'll give it. They beat us to get to the League Cup, but it's tribal, mate, isn't it? It is
The only
tribal.
rivals now are the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
true.
think that'll ever change. But players on the pitch, I mean, I was watching something the other day about when Vieira first came over and they tried to get him to learn English. And the first words he learned were Tottenham are shit. And they said, who taught you that? He said, Ray Parlour. But, you know, it was rivalry then.
Mm.
You know, now it's just another game to them.
Yeah, well, Fuzzy just said it, Charlie, like laughing and joking with each other, and you'd like, just lost the game.
It's
Just lost the game, and they're laughing and joking with each other. I mean, we've seen Arsenal do it quite a few times. You know,
There's not many characters in football now, though, either.
no,
There's too many. There's too many robots and too many people who
The best
are.
characters was that Merseyside derby, the last game at Goodison Park.
Oh,
Now, when you've seen that game, that had everything in that game.
Yeah, good
Even
game.
even that little fight, that little scuff, you know, at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That is what a good old-fashioned derby was all about, and it was like
Yeah,
that years ago.
Tony, did you notice they all had to go at Doucouré because he went up to the Liverpool fans?
yeah,
But when Alexander Arnold done it to the Manchester City fans, nothing was said about it.
yeah. Supposed to be,
Yeah.
you've got to be quiet about it. You're absolutely spot on there, Charlie. Absolutely
Yeah,
spot
you know
on.
what I mean? It's all
Bullshit, isn't it? In that
it
respect.
is.
Big up to Al, the casual golfer, for the super chat, and he's saying, great panel and a relief to hear some reality. Well, that's what we try and do most of the time. But I like David Shear's comment. Morning, Tony Cobber and Jose in brackets, Henry Blowfield. Henry Blowfield. Where's your cat? And the panel. Jose, let's come to you, mate. Let's come to you. What did you make of the protest?
Mikey's got to go,
stadium?
mate. He's put it in the private chat.
Tony, sorry, I got to do a stream on my channel, but thank you for having me on.
Of course,
Thanks-
yes. Mike, thanks for coming in, mate. I forgot your show's at 10. Appreciate you coming in, mate.
To meet you.
First of many, mate. See you next time, yeah?
Okay,
Have a good
mate.
show.
Take care, man.
We got the panel.
Cheers,
we got the
mate.
panel.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care, bro.
Yeah, what did you make of the protest, Jose?
I don't know what the numbers were. I mean, I've been hearing different stories from different people telling me what the numbers were. Certainly, the biggest protest has been. There's been a lot of them and ahhing within the fan base, and like you guys were just saying a minute ago, it's about. I'm talking about the
There's
fan base.
24 people there this time.
There was slightly more, but we're talking about the fan base and not about the tourist supporter that you get. So, I don't know. I've seen the videos, I've seen the clips of them, and that I saw what Levy did at the end of the game, because there was meant to be a sitting protest as well in the South Stand, and Levy brought in extra security to make sure that what they were trying to do is move people from their seats straight after the game, and not congregate in the South Stand. So I haven't heard what happened after the game yet, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like you guys. I just heard you guys all talking about it. At Tottenham, it seems to be, and probably like you were saying about West Ham, and it might be the same at Arsenal, I'm not sure, and it might be the same at Man United, whether you've got the local community who supported their local club, and their dad supported them, and their granddad supported them, and their great granddad, and your uncles, your great uncles, all come through supporting the club, and now you're being priced out from it. All the concessions have been taken away now for the elderly at Tottenham as well. He's done that at the start of the season, so you're then not giving back to the community, and people have just had enough now with Levy, you know, and they're starting to stand up against him. The one thing Levy doesn't like is adverse attention. He squirms when he has adverse attention. I mean, when you've got, I don't know, it's quite loud at the stadium, or it was in the last few games when they're singing out the Levy out chants. And right at the end of the game, win, lose or draw, he turns the music up full blast, so you then can't hear the chants anymore. So, you know, he doesn't like all that, but it's gained traction because it's been on all the news outlets. The papers have picked it up, the radio stations have picked it up, so it's gone out everywhere. And it's funny because we all knew that this protest was happening at Tottenham, and all of a sudden yesterday, then there was links to one of the Qatari people wanting to come to buy Tottenham. So every time shit hits the fan, you get a story that comes out from the club, and lo and behold, they knew it was going to be today. And yesterday there was links to Qataris again. So, you know, at the end of the day, you got people, a lot of Tottenham supporters, and I mean, when I mean supporters, I'm talking about the people that have grown up generations supporting the club. They turned around and said, you know, they if they could boycott a game and it would help, they would do it. But they know that if they did that, somebody else would buy that seat.
What it is,
buy that seat over and over again. And I suppose this happens at every club. Every club has got this now. We all face it.
What it is,
it happens everywhere, doesn't it? You're always going to get them people
everywhere.
You know, it's like, I know it's diversifying a bit, but it was like when Polchaks was brought in. Oh, if no one paid it, they'd have to do something. But people will pay it.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't need
football, which is
they don't need the
obviously
local.
one of the best sports in the world. People will always go. You're never going to change it.
They don't need the local community no more. Where's a franchise brand? And I was just hearing what Jose was saying, and literally, fucking, it sounds so much like what's happening at West Ham, like pricing out the youngsters and the old age pensioners, and you know, we're in a time where everything's going up. Like you go and do your shopping, it's like fucking expensive, and everything's dear, and they know the foreign market, people will pay it. People will come over here, spend 500, 600, 700 quid for a day out at West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, wherever, and they won't even hesitate. Whereas you got a young family of 4, and they can't afford to take their kids to go and see like a football match. Now, in the 21st century, should you be getting prized out when the Premier League's one of the biggest sports in the world, if not the biggest, and you're getting a lot of money from like TV revenue, but you're being prized out. Like, do you know what I mean? I just don't. It can't be the size of the stadium. I have this argument quite a lot with people. People say, "Oh, well, the stadium's too big," and you know what? If you're going to have a bigger stadium, you're not going to you're going to allow anyone to come in there. I disagree on that. I think once it becomes a franchise, then it's all bets are off for the locals because everyone's seat is available to the highest bidder. It's like an auction basically, and it's disgusting. I think, if I'm being honest.
Tony, what is that comments on there? Jez, you'll remember this. Years ago, you was only allowed 5 foreign players in your team.
Yeah.
And that included Scotland, Ireland, and Wales as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what left it up, Charlie, because I think this is a great one from Colin. Yeah, gentlemen in the chat, what would you feel about this if every club in the Premier League had a limit
Colin.
be able to field 4 foreign nationals and the rest have to be homegrown players in games?
Charlie just
Do
said
it.
it.
Do it.
Charlie said it.
Do
I
it.
think
You can't now, it's too late.
Comment.
It can't happen.
No, I know, but
in
I
the
personally like
80s,
it to be done
it
then.
used to be 3.
I mean, you look at the attractive
It
players.
can always
we've got
happen.
in the
You
Premier
just
League.
do it.
Yeah. Look at the attractive players we used to have in the Premier League years ago.
You know
we
what?
got now
That
in
is
the
why I think the England national team is nowhere as good as what it could be or should be.
No,
Yeah.
I totally agree on that.
you look at
Because
that.
young players are not getting the
We've
chance
got.
to come through.
They play with too many quality players in their club teams.
Yeah, who we got striker-wise? Haaland, Isaac. What do you do? Can you put a Holly Watkins in there? Because I'll be honest with you, we haven't got much class players in our Premier League. We haven't. Lots of like what we had years ago. They're all playing abroad now. So
The thing is, they all know about the Premier
fairness,
League, but it's the best league in the world, and every country's got it.
Yeah. And the standards of the Premier League now is gradually going down.
You haven't got Mavericks in the Premier League anymore. You used to have
No,
Mavericks.
right.
There's no Mavericks in the Premier League. The Mavericks all play abroad. They don't play over here.
Yeah.
You can't blame them.
Yeah.
But by
Because
the same token,
the salaries that you've got over here, you've got someone that can only kick with their right foot and can only trap the ball with their left foot, 1 foot, and they're getting paid 100 grand a week, and they, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
the trouble is that
you look at that shot from Garnacho when he's like free on that left-hand side. If that's like one of the players from the past, like a Collymore, obviously I'm going to go on Collymore because I'm a Forest fan, but anybody else, Thierry Henry, or any of the other good strikers, they bury that.
Ian Dowie? No? Oh, right. Okay.
I don't know about Ian.
Ain't he
Daly.
turning into a model? He's a model.
say
He's
He's
it's
on
West Ham,
Goonies,
mate.
isn't he? He's on Goonies, isn't he?
No,
Hey, you guys!
scores own
Hey,
goals.
you guys!
He scores quality own goals, that's for sure.
But it's like what Gary Neville said after the game. He said, you know what? He compared that Tottenham team to that Man United team. And he said there's only one Man United player that can most probably walk into that Tottenham team. And he was out injured. That's that Ahmed. He goes, the rest of the players, they won't walk into that Tottenham team today.
He's on crutches as well now, and so he won't be doing much
Yeah.
walking.
No.
I thought Xerxes was decent, to be honest, and I thought Delit was decent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in saying that, in what that Fred there,
Killed the combo there, didn't I?
as Jez was saying, like, Jez, I'm originally from East London, right? But I always used to go over West Ham, but the old man supported Arsenal, took me over there as probably a 6-7-year-old, and I've never looked back. I've always gone there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that.
It's just the clubs that you're sort of allegiance to.
Yeah, I'll get that, mate. Look, I'm not cussing anybody.
No.
A fan from whether you're from the East End, Islington, America, South Africa, Australia, where the fuck you are, I don't give a shit. Right? At the end of the day, you support the club. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly.
I get that. And there's absolutely no disrespect at all. Fair play. But what annoys me about this football club now is we are, as you said it, Charlie, quite rightly, we're not a club, right? We are a franchise.
Yeah.
Business.
Business. It's gone out of the world. It's all clubs. Tottenham are the same. Man United are the same. Chelsea are the same. West Ham are getting there.
Just not as good as Arsenal.
Not as big as up because we have got probably the biggest PR merchants in the world, i.e. the Cronkies. They have become 60. How much are they worth now? 16 billion. They don't get there by not like having the best at PR, right? I mean, people go on about Tim Lewis. Tim Lewis has worked for Arsenal. He's worked for KSE since 2007. Right? He's a master. He's a solicitor, lawyer, whatever you want to bloody call him. Right? He's a master at the job. And respectfully, you have to give him credence. I don't agree with it personally, but
he's a masturbator.
He's obviously very good at his job. Right? He's very good at his job. But the fact of the matter is, we have probably got one of the best PR teams in football, which I don't agree with that myself personally. I think the average fan has been priced out of the game. I can afford to go. I can afford it, right? I'm lucky enough I can afford it. But I don't. Do you know why I don't go? I hate the fucking stadium. I hate it with a vengeance. And that is why I don't go anymore. I went when we left. I mean, I was born opposite fucking Highbury Stadium. Right? I was born in Gillespie Road. Right? You're
a fake fan anyway, aren't you?
But I don't go to the Emirates anymore because I don't like it. I think it's a rip-off. Everything's a fucking rip-off.
Yeah, but when you say though, Jez, it's like
he's a fake fan. Jez is a fake fan, mate.
The times have changed, right? And when you look at the big stadiums and all that, you look at Spurs, you look at us, you look at yourselves. Yeah. Like Arsenal set the way a few years ago when they moved into the Emirates, and they wasn't buying no one. The issue is that, and what really gets to me is that when you keep prizing out the locals. Now, as I say, if you've got a father who's got 2 kids, he's got to look at one of these kids in the eyes and say, right, I can't afford to take you to a game.
I agree with you, mate.
And I just feel in this generation that we're in, right, or in this time, right, 21st century, so to speak, you shouldn't be getting prized out of going and watching a football match. Do you know what I'm saying? Football should be for everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, I understand what you're saying.
It was the working class man's game.
Yeah.
It was. My granddad, right, who lived in fucking Gillespie Road, he worked on the railways, right? Yeah, he didn't have big money, but he used to go week in, week out, home and away in the 30s, right, to watch Arsenal. And he could afford to. They didn't have money. They didn't have money, but they did it.
No, but Jez, it was relative.
Yes, it was relative, mate. It was relative. I get that. Now
it was during the war when it was like 50 cents for a loaf of bread and a pair of trousers. 50 shilling.
It was still a fucking lot of money. Yeah, you need to spend 50 shilling on your barn. It's like...
so just a quick one. I've got to go. I've got to be up at 4 in the morning. But a quick one for the panel. Do you think the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup are devalued now?
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
Carabao Cup,
not by us.
The top 6-8 clubs, obviously, are meant for them, but the rest of the league and whatever, yeah. But I think that the top sort of 6-8 clubs are not bothered if they go out, you know, because the league and European football is the goal.
Don't you think, though, Charlie?
Yeah, it's true.
The FA Cup only gets you 2 million smackers if you win it. The League Cup gets you £100,000. Right? I mean, but I think maybe I'm too much traditionalist. Maybe I'm like a bit old for it. But the fact is, we have won the FA Cup more times than any other team in the country, and we don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I said it earlier, right? This manager, I didn't finish the conversation. This manager, right, since 1932, has the worst.
You ain't been there that long, Jez. Fucking hell.
He has the worst record in the FA Cup of any other manager.
You know what the problem is? Is these cups are not about money. They're about the fans. You know, winning the Carabao Cup, winning the FA Cup and all that kind of stuff. They're about the fans. And it just shows the clubs don't care about what the fans want. You know, and that is the biggest issue here.
I think the FA Cup still got the spark in it for the like the bottom. When you look at the games the other day, like the Plymouth result and things like that, I don't think you could ever take the spark away from it. I agree with what you're saying about the.
I mean the
clubs.
big six. I mean the big six or the big four
six
or whatever you want to call
always
it.
Going to have like the big six. Always going to be thinking Premier League, Champions League, or qualifying for a top 4. Right, I get that argument all the time. I think the Carabao Cup takes the piss out of a lot of the lesser clubs. Like, i.e., when I look at us, for instance, we have to be seeded up against the top 6 side because they've got European football and we haven't. And if they come out first, they're guaranteed a home draw against whoever. So I mean, it's already done. I think that's a bit wrong, really. I think it should be an open draw in the first round and go from there. Do you know what I mean? It's not like. How can I put this? If Newcastle go and win the Carabao Cup, they're going to appreciate that more than Liverpool. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
So, I want any cup. I don't care. I want to win shit.
James, come on, man. I mean, Arsenal have won the FA Cup more than any other team. They've been in more semi-finals than any other cup, right? Arsenal have been in. I'm not going.
They finished second,
right? But the fact of the matter is, this manager doesn't take it. He won it. He won it, right? You'd think he'd take it more seriously.
Right? Yeah, but if Arsenal was to, just for argument's sake, for the sake of this conversation, if Arsenal turn around and did win the FA Cup this year, I know they're out, but I don't think that would be enough for Arsenal fans, mate. And I'm being genuinely serious. I'm not going to say that. I think Arsenal have set their standards to Premier League.
Got bigger fish to fry.
I think they've done everything else. Now, if Arsenal go and win the Champions League, then that blows out every conversation going because that's like you've won the highest of the highest honour in Europe.
But saying that, if we won the Champions League, all them people who thought Arteta was shit, blah, 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 they'll be going, oh, what a fucking manager. We've won the Champions League.
And I think
certain people would not.
I think you've got. I think what it is, you've got to put this into context, right? That basically, whatever standard that you want, if you've like Jez says, FA Cup, FA Cup, FA Cup, if you've consistently won that, and you want to go to the next level, which is the Champions
You want to better
League.
yourself.
Yeah, right.
In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's
So
like being at a company and getting a promotion. You know, you want to go again and again and again and bet yourself.
And that's where I think the FA Cup. I think the FA Cup don't mean a lot to the big six because they've won it so many times.
But if you look at what Jez was saying,
Yeah,
right,
but
about
it's
the
a
2 million, 2 million for winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
If you finish 17th in the Premiership, so that means you're staying up, yeah? So you finish 17th,
Yeah.
you get £12.5 million and you're guaranteed Premiership football the following season.
Yeah.
And that goes up every position thereafter from 17th upwards goes up by 3.1 million per position. So
and then if you do get relegated, you get a parachute payment.
Yeah, but the ones that get relegated, if you finish 20th in the Premier League, you get 3.1 million for finishing 20th. And then and a parachute payment. So
Charlie, thanks for coming on, mate.
Nice speaking to everybody.
Take care, Charlie.
You never know.
Yeah,
Have a nice one, guys.
See you later.
Take care, mate.
You'll realise eventually that Arteta ain't the one.
So it goes to show. It goes to show.
Should have had Frank said that.
Who said that?
Should have had Frank said she's the one.
She is the one. Listen, I understand what Jose's saying. Don't get me wrong, but I do look at this and I look at how can I put this? When I look at the big six sides, usually it's one of the big six that wins it every year. Like it's never no one else who ever really comes close to winning it. I can't. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I can't remember the last time a team's won it from outside the big six. Maybe Leicester a few years ago when they beat Chelsea. Other than that,
Wigan.
You had Wigan in there, but I think that was before then. But you know, like I think some people underappreciate the FA Cup, and then some people overappreciate it. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you've had, for instance, if Aston Villa go and finish 5th, get to a quarter final of a Champions League or something, or whatever, and they get to a final of an FA Cup, I don't think Villa fans would have the ump with that. I really don't. Like, I think they would appreciate that.
The thing is, it's got nothing to do with money, though. The fact that it's got to do with money on what competitions you win and what trophies you win and all this, that, and the other is the problem, in my opinion.
I think the squad.
The cup wins and the cup thing that you win is to do with the fans.
Yeah,
and
I think it's the squads, though, mate.
To do with money, how much they're going to win is the fucking problem.
Yeah, but I do think it's. I get that, but I do think it's to do with the squads and all. I think like when you look at the squads, I don't think.
But the squads are down to what you bring in.
Yeah.
That's down, that's down to you in a respect.
Or don't bring in our case.
Yeah, or don't bring in. Exactly.
That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Stephen Langham saying there about obviously the cups. He said in the 70s, do you remember the FA Cup final day was on the day starting with a breakfast show with Brian Moore?
Yeah. It was.
The build up to the FA Cup isn't the same as it used to be. I remember it was like a major event. Like it was glamorized like a Champions League final to a point.
They go to hotels, wouldn't they? In the morning, they go to hotels where the teams were staying.
I love
buses going from there. From I think it was St Albans. I think.
And all that. Yeah. You go out the way. And you see the players coming out on the
interviewing each player. Every player's in a suit and all this.
If anything, they treat the FA Cup like the Carabao Cup to a point where it's just like, it's just a cup competition. But I don't know.
You know, another thing I have an issue with is from the past. If you had a striker who was on 2 goals and got got substituted, they was pissed that they got substituted because they wanted an hat trick. I don't know if you noticed this, but nowadays they don't care. because
They
they
don't
get
care.
parent money, they get loads of money for it, they get loads of, and can you remember back in the day when strikers used to kick off if they got took off when they was on 2 goals?
Yeah, because it was the ambition. Yeah, the ambition's not
Exactly.
there anymore. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not.
This is true. I mean, look, Gundown's I'm making right on this one because obviously City, I think, the only one that really kind of put a bit of an effort in. You saw that against the Orient. City won the League Cup 6 times in a row since 2014. They won that consistently before going on to win the league multiple times. So saying, sparing the crap about the big six don't take the league, but that's only one team. All the others need to kind of follow suit in my eyes because
It's true.
it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you're up against City, name me a team who's been better than City. Because there hasn't been many. Like you're up against a powerhouse unit who, when they get it right, they get it right very, very good. And even Liverpool. Listen, Liverpool back in 2019, I think it's the 2020 season. Like they had Mane, Salah, Firmino. They was trying their fucking hardest to beat City, and they still couldn't. So it's very hard. Like City have got it organised because they've got world-class players in each position times 2. Like they take out, they take out a centre half, they put a world-class player in. If that's, I ain't going to use us as an example. I use Arsenal as an example. If Arsenal take out Saliba, Odegaard, Saka, they're not the same side. And they're, do you know what I'm saying? And they can't maintain that, and that's the difference.
But at the same point, the old FFP was brought in because of City. And it was basically, they've still got an amazing team who want amazing things. Everybody else is struggling for it because they bought in the FFP. Look at Newcastle. They're one of the richest teams at the minute, but they get dropped back by FFP.
True. But the problem is with City, which it goes back to it, is they've got a winner in charge. And that's where it goes back. That's where it goes full circle. And that's when Jez says about Arteta, I understand what he's saying, because he looks at Arteta and he goes, that guy is not going to win us multiple trophies.
He's fucking clueless. If anybody can't see that, you must be a fucking.
And what it is, in any form of club, to a point, you need to have a winner in there, someone who's been there, seen it, done it. Like, for instance, I use like Zidane. Like Zidane comes available, whatever, or wherever he is. Yeah. Like you've got someone who's won Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. He's won leagues with Real Madrid. Like you've got a natural winner there. Do you know what I mean? Like, and no disrespect to Arteta, right, and to any Arsenal fans watching this, but Arteta is on a level of like Unai Emery to a point, maybe a bit lower than him. That's what I believe.
Massively lower than him. Massively lower than him.
I mean, respectfully to Charlie, right? He's an Arteta in, fair enough, fair play. But when I asked the question, and no, he asked me the question: who would you take outside of Arteta? Well, I can name 4 or 5.
Why did he always say that though, Jez? Why did they always turn around and say, "Well, who would you replace him by?"
All they do is focus on Arteta.
Yeah,
and he made the comment. Well, about money. We're paying £15 million a year, second highest behind Pep in world football.
It's ridiculous.
He hasn't won fuck all. So, if you went and offered it to Inzaghi, Simeone, whoever you want, you offer them 15 million, they'll come because they're not getting that money. They're not earning that money.
Yes. Can I just say, right? We've spent less than that. We're 3rd in the league right now.
Yeah, but you ain't won fuck all. At the end of the day, Arsenal want.
Well, we won more than you in Europe, so let's not go there. But at the end of the day, we've spent less than you. I'm talking about Arteta. I know it's boring to you because you'll never reach those levels. But at the end of the day, right, we've spent less than you, and we are 3rd in the league.
Yeah.
right now.
You're a one season wonder. You
I'm
just
not
own it.
I'm not having a go at you, Jez. I'm not actually having a go at you. I was actually
What it
saying
is-
it against Arteta.
What it is, right? I understand what Jez is saying, right? I've got to make this quick. 'Cause I've got 3% battery. I've got to try and get this out. But I understand what Jez is saying. I get the
Keep
frustration.
pushing, mate. Keep pushing.
I do think. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Power to the people. I do think that Arsenal will be looking at a change in the near future. Yeah, because if they keep consistently finishing second and third, then they're going to be looking at this and thinking, well, where they going? I don't think he's a world-class manager. I think Arsenal need a world-class manager to get the job done, especially in the Premier League. But then people will say, is Slot a world-class manager? I think he's a very, very good manager, but I don't think he's world-class. But if he takes this Liverpool side and wins the league, then you've got to look at him and go, fuck me, he's a good manager. Do you know what I mean? And good managers can do that. So, yeah. But I've got him out to move down to 2%. Good health to everyone. I'll see you
Thank you,
again
mate.
soon.
It's well done to E20 for some sensible comments. So
no worries, mate. Yeah, I mean, subscribe to me motherfucking channel, lads. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Would you say, right, that is that the complexion of Arteta at Arsenal is kind of currently this: a football cynic or actual football person looks at Arteta and says that's a transitional manager, but then the Arsenal board and everybody else at the top of Arsenal Football Club see him, yeah, you're our meal ticket. We don't have to push to the next level with you here, because everybody loves the transitional manager because he's like the class favourite. He's not the guy that's your elevator. He's not going to elevate you. He's just the guy that everyone really loves, really likes, and says, I want to, because I love you so much, I'm going to give you another chance. You hurt me once, you hurt me again, but I love you so much. Have another crack. That's kind of what it feels like Arteta sort of turned into with Arsenal.
That is it. It's the
love.
What
it is, it's like in a normal job. When your next step, if you get promotion in your job and your next job is to become, let's say assistant manager, this is Arteta. What Arteta is, he's a blocker. He's
a cock blocker.
Right. But he is a blocker. So basically, what he does is good for Arsenal Football Club. So he blocks the next manager coming in to take over. That's what he is. He's just a blocker.
The thing is, he don't block cocks, he makes them go, to be fair. If you look at half the top gooners. They're going, oh, get me another handbrake. Oh, it's just mental, mate.
It is, man. Anyway, mate, early doors, legends, Fuzzy.
Absolutely.
Jose, Anthony, Yeti, I've got to fuck off.
Jez, appreciate it, mate. Thanks for coming in with us.
Easy, bro.
Yeah. And
right, Jez, take care, mate.
Look after yourself. See you soon, mate.
Yeah, take care, boys.
And you.
Take care, Jez. I like your cap, by the way, Jez. I like your cap.
Yeah, I've not seen you be handicapped very often.
No, there's a reason for it.
Okay.
I had to have something done on my head yesterday, so it's not very nice.
Did you have airport on?
No.
Oh, did you take a flight to Turkey?
No. No. It's I'd have a biopsy.
Let's put a brain in there, I think.
No, I'd have a biopsy on my head.
Okay.
They're taking some out, have they? And then they got to analyze it.
Yeah, it's basically Anyway, there we go.
All right, Jez.
Fair enough, bro.
Thanks for being with us,
Jez.
Matey.
Take care.
Matey, always.
Take care.
Take care.
Mate. Take care.
At least you'll stop Ace calling me Fuzzy Murray.
Yeah, one for you here. Yeah, Lone Star's asking, how will Forest fare in the last third of the season?
Well, it's looking a little bit tough now, to be honest. I mean, I knew we was going to sort of like drop here at some point. And playing Fulham, Fulham's a bastard. We cannot seem to like get one over on them. And they was better yesterday, to be honest. They was absolutely better than what we was. and it might start like a downfall now. But you know what? It won't be a downfall because nobody ever expected this. So
No,
you
no,
know,
it
if
won't
we
be.
can manage fourth in the season, we're loving
Yeah,
it, bro. We're loving
I
it.
said, I said, even if you finish sixth, Yeti, what a massive improvement that is
Of course
from
it
last
is.
season. Do
100%.
you know what I mean?
100%.
So you got the right manager there. You know, you got the right owner and that sort of thing. So the only way for Forest is up, basically.
100%.
You know, like,
100%. Couldn't say it any better myself. I tried to say it better myself, but you brought it in, so I couldn't. So there you go. Feel bad to me.
Big up to Old School Gunner as well. Good to see you, Dave. He's put a question to the panel and everyone in the chat. Do you believe Man United will be dragged into a relegation battle? I
Nah.
can't see myself.
Nah, if it was
No,
the three, I think there's the four that are down there. It's among Southampton are gone.
Yeah.
I suppose Ipswich, Leicester, and Wolves. It's who can outdo who really out of the three of them. But two of them three will go down. I think 3 out of the bottom 4 will definitely go down.
I hope Ipswich stay up, to be honest.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them, I must admit.
Yeah.
Ravi's asking you, Yeti, do you think you can make it to the Champions League with Forest?
Well, I'd love to see it. We do. You know, we're not like kind of team that expects to get anything. You know, we've got to work for it. And if we work for it and we keep going the way we're going, then yes, we can. 100%.
Top 5 will probably get Champions League football this year with the way the English clubs are going in the coefficiency.
Yeah,
it looks like.
Can we win it? Can we win it? Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I don't think we're in that type of situation at the minute. But you know what? As a Forest fan, this is absolutely fucking amazing.
Oh, you've got to be enjoying this season, haven't you, mate? You've got to be enjoying it. I mean, if you ain't, bloody got your head sorted out.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome.
Enjoy it, mate. Ravi's also got a question for you, Fuzzy. Thoughts on Amarin not trusting his subs?
Well, look at the players that he's got to sub on.
I've only really.
I didn't know Amarin had a YouTube channel. He'd probably make himself a YouTube channel sometime soon and start slagging off the club. He'll probably get like loads of subs. He'll probably be the most. He'll probably take the United.
I love the way he calls it out, though, Fuzz. I love the way he calls it out.
It's like he's got the right sort of mindset to be at a club like Manchester United, because it's not. You won't sugarcoat it. If it's shit, he's going to tell you it's shit. If you're not doing good enough, then he will tell you you're not doing good enough. And I think he has got the cutthroat edge that a manager at a top club needs to have. I think probably a bit more experience, you could say. And I think one thing that I must say that he should probably drop is when he's got the options available, stop picking the Portuguese contingent, because when you've had the better options, you have not chosen them. Instead, you play a couple of Portuguese players that are not performing ahead of other players that could play in certain positions that would perform or are more likely.
Do you mean Bruno? Do you mean Bruno?
Bruno, Dallo, those two specifically. I think they've got. I mean, you can't really do much about it now because now everybody's injured all of a sudden. So it's like there's things that Amarin can do better, but I think that's something that you probably learn over time to really sort of get out the habit of doing. I think because the situation he's got at Man United now is that I think he really wants to be here, but he's just trying to survive now. And you can hear it when he answered the question that this job here is just so hard, but I will stick to my principles. And that's commendable. Some people will say, well, that's naive and stupid. Well, no, it's commendable because it's like we've watched other managers do exactly what everyone's telling Amarin to do and still end up sacked. So I think he knows, he looks at that and he goes, but if I change, I could still be in the shit. Nothing might change. And then I would be going further away from my principles. So if I'm sticking to what I know best of what has won me all of these trophies at Sporting Lisbon, I believe this can work at Manchester United. And it's not like a 3-4-3 can't win you a Premier League. Antonio Conte did it at Chelsea. So formation is not necessarily the bread and butter as to whether you win a league title or not. It's how much the players in that team want it, and it's the club ethos and how the club backs that manager. Because if you're going to make a project about winning trophies, everybody's got to be on board. But we've got one set of owners that just love loading debt onto this club and could give less of a fuck whether it sinks or swims. You've got another ownership that's just come in. That's the only thing they're interested in is, like Nectar card savings. Try and get as much discounts and savings as possible. It's like, bloody hell, the fucking Matthias Tell loan fee that Tottenham paid is probably the same amount of money that would have cost Ineos that they probably pay as a company yearly to Tottenham to have the fucking sponsorship on the seats in their stadium. So all of a sudden paying Tottenham Hotspur as a sponsorship deal has better business interests to Ineos than the fucking club they run in the same league as that team. Why is the mentality in the finance world for these guys so backwards? Because it's not like football. People will say, well, football's a business. In various aspects it is, yes. But how you run a football club, you can't run it like a bank. You can't run it like a business and expect success. It is unsustainable. You're going to sink. You'll fall away. Everybody else that even by 1% treats their club as an owner more like a football club, they're going to be 1% better than you at every single step of the way. And that's the thing. People talking about United, we'll wait for the summer to do this. We'll wait for the summer to do that. Well, nobody else around us is waiting. They're doing things now. They're getting shit done now. So football doesn't wait for anybody. Genuinely doesn't. You will fall behind the second you stop moving. And even if you do something slower, guess what? Somebody else is doing it quicker. Someone's always going to be doing it quicker than you. And if you are lackluster in that, they will overtake you and they'll start hoarding all of that success that you should be earning. And that's the case with the ownerships that they've gone about business models, save money, this and that, and it's the same problem that Chelsea have got with Blue Co and Todd Bowley and Clear Lake. We're going to run a club, a business model like Brighton. I mean, fucking hell, Roman Abramovich must be fucking pissing himself right now. It's like I've left that club to the British government, £1.5 billion debt free, and they've spent up the debt money, and now they're trying to make it a sustainable cash cow. Like, what the fuck? That's not what Chelsea used to be in recent history. They're all about winning. Sure, they didn't like spend crazy amounts of money versus other teams or quite have the same level of success. I mean, there's certain like managerial appointments, like very defensive coaching, and some of the football's a bit stale. But the ethos at the club was always trophies first, always football club first, not business. Not what's the shirt sponsor going to be? What's all of these deals? Fucking something else as well. Vivid Seats. We talk about fans losing out. What's going on with that? Vivid Seats, Todd Bowley, co-owner of a fucking website that clubs of all 20 Premier League clubs, yeah, your tickets that you resell get bought by people all over the world for tens of thousands of pounds, right? And they don't have to do it through club channels. They can just cut the line. If you've got one of these, I think it's the Arsenal ballot system. Guess what? If you buy your Arsenal ticket on Vivid Seats, guess what? Your ballot ticket system means fuck all, because they just get that ticket, so all the way over to North London, check in at the Emirates. Oh, lovely seat. Thank you very much.
It's all 20 Premier to Michael Chelsea's channel, because I think he actually covered that as well, because obviously Todd Bowley.
Yeah, big up Michael Chelsea.
We're coming up to the end of that, so I'm just going to quickly whiz through some things, and there's the one comment I'm going to leave till the end. Yeah, Man City getting the result against Newcastle. Do we expect Man City to finish? And I think Anthony said it. Second is probably going to be the outcome for
I
City.
think they've got on it now. They've got on it.
I agree with that. Referee, yeah, that's a big one. We'll carry on listening to another show, I think, Ravi, because that's quite an interesting one with the VAR and the lack of lines being used. Chris is saying Man City will be in the Championship next season after all the courts come down on them. Well, it'll be interesting.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be that.
I don't think so, because obviously they've just won this thing with the sponsorship thing over the Prem, so who knows what's going to go on there.
Well, what I was reading this week, there's like their lawyers have come up with something that wrecks off the sponsorship kind of thing that they had with the charges.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's not going to be no drop in divisions or anything like that.
But 115 charges have got nothing to do with sponsorships. It's failure. It's failure to provide information on 115 different occasions. It's got nothing to do with sponsorship.
What are the 115 like charges? Because
the charges are failure to comply and provide information when requested from the league. Right. So when you've got to provide your accounts and stuff like that, they didn't
flatly refused, didn't they?
They flatly refused to provide their accounts.
I mean, look, I would say this, right? The Premier League is the most corrupt system on the planet, right? And do you not think that Man City, with the amount of money they've got and the owners that they've got, if they give the Premier League a brown envelope, do you not think that's going to all of a sudden disappear? Because that's what I've been saying for a long time. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
So they won't do anything to Man City yet. Man City, you've got to think the top three teams keeps the Premier League in money. The top four. Then you've got the Europe and that. Hey, don't worry, relegation teams are slightly minimum. They're just like, oh well, whoever that is, we just brush off. But the top teams keeps the Premier League money going with the money that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course it does, and that's what's going to keep going with it.
The only thing that'll happen to Man City is they get a slap on the wrist. Well, personally, I think what should happen to them. I don't think they should get relegated. I think they should start off with at least a minus 15 points. Yeah. They're not allowed to buy. They're not allowed to buy any players for 2 seasons, right? And
they should have been on a transfer embargo.
They should get a fine and a fine. No, that's it. But that ain't that the easiest. But I mean, let's have a look at Everton and Forest. They aimed up to it. They've dealt with it. They've accepted their punishment like a man, and then they've moved on from it. But trouble is, though, with Man City, with their owners, they've got money, and with lots of money comes good solicitors, and that's the reason why.
But with this one, they will get found out on this. I don't know how many, but they will get found out. So they've got 115 charges. Hold on. 115 charges.
Thanks, Rob.
54 charges of failure to provide accurate and up-to-date financial information between 2009 and 2018. 14 charges, separate charges of failure to provide accurate financial reports for player and manager compensation during that 9-year period. 5 charges, separate charges of failure to comply with UEFA's regulations, including financial fair play regulations. 7 charges, different charges, of breaching Premier League profitability and sustainability regulations between 2015 and 2018. And then they've got 35 charges, separate charges of failure to cooperate with the Premier League's investigators between 2018 and 2023. So basically, these 115 charges are spread over 14 years.
I guarantee they get away with most of them.
They probably will do. They probably will do. I mean, the main thing is when you look at it, when it first came out, they were talking about dragging it out until 2030 anyway. So there was
but the result is due within the next 2 weeks.
That's right. Yeah, it's 2 weeks, isn't it? It's just 2 weeks. Colin, good night as well, because we're all wrapping up ourselves. Just good night to all you wonderful gentlemen on the panel. You're all great guys, and I love listening to you all. Been a great show, and God bless everyone of you. See you all next time. Definitely,
See you, Colin.
mate.
That's going back to Mancini days
Daniel,
then.
big up to yourself, mate. Big up as always. But the last comment I'm going to put in, which I've starred, and it just goes back to what we were saying about, like with Spurs with their protest. We've done it as well, and it's this one from ENR, and it's a case of he was on the tube yesterday because he went to the game, got talking to a family from Seattle, a couple and 2 kids. They were there to sample Premier League football. Nice people, and they had a good day, but typical of the common day trippers now that go to clubs. That just sums it all up. That's where we stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got it because when you pan around at Tottenham before the start of the game, 2 hours before the game starts, all the Sonny fans are there from North Korea.
Yes, of course, mate.
They're
Yes,
all, I think the majority are in the West Stand, and they've all got their Korean flags and they've all got their Sunny stuff and whatever, and they're always there 2 hours before a game starts. They're the first into the stadium, and they always fill out the same section, every home game, and it's just different people. It's not the same Koreans. It's just different Asians that are there, and they fill out the same part of the stadium every single match.
Thanks, Stephen. Same for you as well. Great show, guys. Have a great week all, and good night. Good night to yourself as well. And
Thanks,
while we're
Stephen.
doing that, Fuzzy, what you got coming up, and if you can let people where they can find you as well, please.
Well, I've got more pain coming up from Man United, first and foremost. I've got a 2-week holiday time, so I'm going to make the most of that. And yeah, hopefully a lot more gears will be turning with the fans and the fan base and communities. And, I'll do my part from the content creator standpoint and, try and rally as many Man United troops as possible. So that's just me, basically, because I have no one else Man United, which is me. But yeah, it's just whatever crops up.
Thanks,
see
mate.
what it's all about, and yeah, we'll move. We'll make content for it. So yeah,
Brilliant. Fuzzy, after an extra 2-week break, he's saying there, brilliant. Colin, yes, indeed. Good night as well. God bless. Ian, I say Lone Star. Just an example of the way crowds are changing. Absolutely, Ian. You're not wrong. Here's the way it's going. Yeah, thanks for coming in, mate. It's been a great one for the 50th. What you got coming up and where they can find you?
Yeah, well, long as Yeti's Cave, I always speak it real. I always say what I think. Nottingham Forest fan, and loving every minute of what's going on at the minute, even though we lost this week. It was always going to come at some point, especially by Fulham. And, we're still like 3rd in the league. Nobody expected this. I didn't expect this. But at the end of the day, we're coming back. If you don't want to believe that, don't believe it. But trust me, I'm telling you, we're all coming back. And yeah, we'll just keep going with it. Long as Jet's Cave, more sort of gaming and all this, that, and the other from now on. Can't be doing all these watch-alongs on games that I don't care about. I don't care about half your team. Sorry, guys, I don't. So I care about my team. So I'll be doing watch-alongs on Forest and not anything else. And then just doing gaming, and I'll just have your games on at the side. If they're interesting, then I'll drop onto them. But otherwise, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, big up to everybody. Big up to everyone on the panel. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. I've seen some of the shit you've said, Lone Star and all this, that, and the other. Yeah, big up to you and big up to everybody else.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much,
having me on as well.
You're most welcome, mate, as always. Anthony, where can people find you as always?
Well, people can find me on air on Early Doors TV, where we do the Sunday night takeaway. We're going to be doing the show on Wednesday night, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Also, I'm going to be on a show on Thursday night on the Arsenal Alliance with the biggest flip flopper on YouTube. 1 minute he's hard settling, next minute he's hard settling. Lead, but but he's all right. And
Big up,
I just want to say, I don't care about any of your teams. Yeah, fuck Forest. And the last thing I want to say is, Keep it real.
If he says
keep it
keep it real, keep it Anthony, drop him. Drop him.
I'd be like to see you Oatsy coming on. It's nice to see you again.
But bro, if I ever fucking meet you, you'll never say that again.
Oh, God, me and you are fighting after this show. All right?
Jose, thanks for coming in and that. I know you do the other show with Adrian and stuff and that, and it's great you do that as well. And I do appreciate you dropping in as well. As always, where can they find you and what have you got coming up?
You can copy and paste the link because I put it in the private chat for you because it's a lot easier.
Thank you, matey.
Yeah, I'm at LTL Cockerell. Obviously, I am a Tottenham supporter, but I do have all supporters going into my chat. Decent community. Don't get trouble in there. Mainly I do prediction shows and stuff at the moment because work takes me away. So you don't know when. Well, I know that I'm not about, so it's quite hard to formulate shows. People tend to find me on other people's shows. I help out on other people's channels in and around the community, all from different clubs as well. So it's been a pleasure coming on here, and it's been a pleasure sharing the screen with all the people that I've shared it with tonight. And I wish everybody a really, really good week ahead. And until we next see each other on screen. And well done, the chat. You've kept us busy tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, Pepsi has to get one in on you. He says, see you in a few weeks, Jose, when Spurs next win.
Yeah, but I come on win or lose anyway because I'm
exactly.
You do.
It don't affect me.
Exactly
I keep saying to people it doesn't affect me because, and I think Tony's similar in the sense that win, lose or draw, the game finishes, and after the game finishes, you're back to your normal routine of life. Do you know what I mean? I don't dwell on it win, lose or draw. So
you know full well, mate. You know I came on with you and Colin and that when you slapped us up. I came onto your show. You know that's how much you just get on with it.
That's it. But we never gave it to you though. So that's the nice thing.
No, that's true.
We didn't give you no.
Oh well, that's just disappointing. That is, Jose. I would have at least give it to him and then said, "Right, that's it now."
No, at the end of the day, you give it out to people if they're lippy and they deserve it. But the people you don't give it to them at all. Do you know what I mean? So
100%. 100%.
I give it to Todd because Todd knows I like winding him up. That's all it is.
The thing is, though, Anthony, me and Jose have seen each other in real life, kind of thing, and that. So we both know we ain't going to screw up to each other. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll fucking square up to him if he's fucking giving it the big.
Leave Jose alone.
Real, keep it Anthony.
Leave Jose alone.
No, not him.
Oh,
I mean Anthony.
Well, you just said it. I thought you meant Jose. Here. He's only just come in.
I'll big up to him and all. Him. He'll probably swallow me in one fucking bite, but I'll big up to him.
But people in the chat are still with us. Thanks for hanging around, and it's been a great 50th episode. We've tried to cover all the clubs, all the comments, and obviously all the dramas that went along with it as well. Have a great weekend, or the end of this weekend. We only got a couple of hours to go. But have a great week, and hopefully it should get warmer. Apparently Wednesday we're going to see 14 degrees and upwards. So we're finally getting rid of this cold snap. Fucking need to. It's been absolutely cold.
Is it here to stay?
Well, hopefully, mate. But
it's the UK. It never does.
Yeah,
Did you have any sun earlier today, too?
Sorry, mate?
Did you have any sun earlier today?
There was a little bit that came out.
Yeah, we had a bit of sun down here, so I was happy with that.
Just a little bit.
We didn't have any pricks.
Great question from Ravi. Why is the North London Forever tune so annoying? God,
because it's shit and I hate it and I dislike it.
Is that thing?
And it should have never every time I'm watching a game team, my family hates it because I mute the telly because I don't like the song. And then when I unmute it and they're still singing it, I'll go, fucking hell, how long's this song on for? Back onto mute. It's like
they don't know any other words, do they? So they just keep repeating it over.
At the same point, like when Spurs play a game at Spurs Ground, they keep singing "When the Saints Come Marching In." You've been singing that from 12 BC. When you actually going to get there, where you're marching to?
Southampton or Tottenham?
No, Tottenham.
We don't sing the Saints. We use other words. The Saints are sung by Tottenham. I went to Southampton. Well, no, the Arsenal Forever song reminds me. Some of you on the panel will remember the old 45s and the old 33s. The needle would get stuck and it'd be the same thing over and over again. And I think that's what's happened at the Effeminates. I think they've got the old 33s and 45s out.
I meant when the Spurs. Sorry, I meant when the Spurs come marching in.
They go marching in all the time. Win, lose or draw.
Yeah, but you never get nowhere. So when do you actually get to the marching point where you go?
Part and parcel. Part and parcel. Pepsi, I've got broader shoulders than that. You know, if I did a watch along on that, I'll still be there regardless of the result. I'll still do the show if I do the show.
Sorry, can I just ask before you close off? Who you got next week?
We've got Arsenal.
Home or away?
Away.
Ooh.
Fuzz, who you got next week?
Everton.
Away or home?
Away.
And what about you? Yeah, who you got next week?
Newcastle.
At home or away?
Tough.
Yeah, that's at their place. So yeah, that's good.
We got the toughest game out of the lot. We got Ipswich away.
Every game's tough for you.
Yeah, it is because they beat us 2-1 at Argaf.
That's right, yeah. That's it, Colin. You tell them we will win. That's it. We will win definitely against the Arsenal.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Marino hat-trick incoming.
Marino's
my new number 9.
Yeah. Minu Henry. Minu Henry back. Minu
Arsenal
Henry.
fans are saying he's a new striker. I don't know. He's a DM. Get over it.
bro, he's the new Henry camp.
Wow.
No.
Who was your forward yesterday, Tom? Who was your centre? Who did you play up front yesterday?
Well, for the first half, no idea, mate, because the players were all over the shop.
But Ferguson played the second half, didn't he?
Bowen, Kudos, and Paqueta kept chopping around. Oh. Second half, he actually brought Ferguson on.
How did he play?
He played well. He had a bit of energy about him. Helped set up a ball for Kudos, who skied it. Other than that, he didn't look too bad.
Good.
So hopefully we'll see him in the next game. We'll see him in the next game. But yeah, we still need another one. I mean, obviously, Fulkrug and Antonio are now in Dubai, recovery, and that Fulkrug's kind of progressing pretty well. Ings is just Ings, just collecting a wage.
Hammers still keep getting hammered though, don't they?
Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
Are you playing Saturday?
Sorry, mate?
You playing Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, yeah.
You might as well do your show. Whatever happens, whoever wins or loses or draws, you might as well do the show Saturday. God, fester until Sunday night.
You see my shoulders, Ozzy. I'm bored as anything, mate. I've seen
it. Oh, yeah.
You doing a watch along team?
I may do, yeah. Yeah, I may do.
Or are you going to jump on them?
Yeah, depending. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing on weekends. My missus makes all these fucking plans up, and I don't find out until the last 10 minutes. It's like, no, thanks, then. But yeah, if I ain't doing nothing, then if I can
the best watch-alongs is when you can get two people from the opposite teams.
Yeah,
they're the best watch-alongs.
You need to communicate with your missus a bit more, Ant. What you like?
Oh, I know. I tried that, and it's like I've got tuna fish all over my body, so we smell the fucking same, and nothing happens. So you just wait for time.
Fantastic.
And on that note, enjoy your week, people. We'll catch you next time, and thanks again for making this a great 50th episode.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Come on, you idiots.
I've still got to end the stream first of all.